postage stamp is now available, and it's a stamp to honor a legendary game show host. That's a new one, and we'll tell you coming up at 6:20. We'll answer the question for you. That's a little clue. Hey, it's with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you that we're together here on a Morning Team Monday on WSGW. A Monday where we have a temperature expected to be around 80 in the sunshine. Right now it's 61. We'll get to the forecast. We'll get to commentary from Bill O'Reilly. We're going to get to Kim Commando. Bill O'Reilly's next hour. Kim Commando is going to talk about dash cams, especially for the heavy traveled summer season. Dash cams at 6:25. Lots of weekend sports to do for you. We'll have the first sports look at 6:15. More news right now in the WSW newsroom. And here's Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. A crash in Saginaw County, Spalding Township last Friday killed a Mount Morris Township man. Police say the 26-year-old's Buick sedan was found submerged upside down in a ditch off Curtis Road near Bishop Road. A passerby saw the vehicle and notified police around 6 a.m. The man was dead at the scene, according to police, though a dog in the vehicle managed to survive. Details how the crash occurred are unavailable at this time. An Owasso man was arrested last week for shooting a gun inside his home. Police responded to the 800 block of Lyon Street in Owasso for a report of shots fired. They determined 20-year-old Mac Davis shot the gun from inside his bedroom. A search warrant revealed an illegally shortened .22 caliber rifle and other firearms. Davis was charged on Thursday in federal court with possession of a short-barreled rifle. His next court date is July 8th. A tornado was confirmed to have touched down in Gladwin County over the weekend. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado with peak wind speeds of up to 90 miles an hour and a maximum width of 200 yards touched down on Saturday around 4:05 p.m., about 9 miles northeast of the city of Gladwin. The tornado traveled on the ground for about 10 miles, ending at 4:27 p.m. Trees were damaged along the tornado's path, though there's currently no word on any structures damaged. There were no injuries reported. Gallagher Street in Saginaw will be closed from Maplewood Avenue to Hazelwood Avenue starting today until Friday due to a special cleanup event. During this time, the road will be closed to through traffic, so please follow the posted detour or find an alternate route if possible. Also, crews are removing a tree on Mackinac Street in the city of Saginaw between South Michigan and South Fayette. That's going to require the northbound lane to be closed until 4 p.m. Gardner White Furniture has announced a free meet and greet event with JJ from Cocomelon. The event will be held July 14th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Gardner White in Saginaw on Tittabawassee Road. Family fun activities include arts and crafts, music, face painting, and more included. During the event, Gardner White will offer an additional 30% off sale prices, and a percentage of sales from the event will benefit the Covenant Kids Foundation. Meet and greets have also been scheduled for Novi and Shelby Township locations. For more information or to register for the event, visit gardnerwhite.com. WSGW News Time 6:09.
Tickets are on sale now for the 5-year anniversary of the Dow Championship that will be returning to the Midland Country Club June 24th through the 30th, 2024. Come experience this unique week-long LPGA team event with family-friendly activities, Eat Great Trail, STEM Center, Veterans Suite, and more. Tickets start at just $10, and kids 17 and under get in free, as well as past and present military personnel. Visit dowchampionship.com for more info.
Finding the right home for your family is a special feeling. Finding the right home loan to make it happen should feel just as good. At Members First Credit Union, we know home loans inside out, so we're here to help you every step of the way. From home buying education to an affordable mortgage, because there's nothing we love more than seeing people in the door. Learn more at mfcu.net/mortgage. Home lending from Members First Credit Union, for the joy of it. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
WSGW News Time 6:10. An Oakland County Sheriff's deputy was killed in the line of duty. 30-year-old Deputy Bradley Reckling was reportedly working undercover on an underground car theft ring. The suspect was in a stolen vehicle and is said to have opened fire on police through blacked-out windows. Reckling was married, the father of 3 children, and his wife was expecting. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard says right now the focus is on helping the grieving family.
We have a charity called Mission Oakland. If anyone wants to contribute to the family, they can contribute, write a check, or send a check, or any kind of donation to Mission Oakland, which is a licensed charity. 100% of that will go to the family without any fees or deductions like you get on GoFundMe.
More information on how to donate to Reckling's family can be found on the Oakland County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. State police are asking drivers to slow down after a patrol car was hit early Sunday morning. Investigators say a Grand Rapids patrol car was struck during a stop on northbound US 131 near Wealthy. A minivan lost control, skidded on wet pavement, and hit the patrol vehicle. The trooper had minor injuries. The minivan driver was taken to a hospital with a head injury, and the crash is still under investigation. Some new figures underscore the importance of price when it comes to sales of electric vehicles. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Big incentives on EVs led to a boost in registrations in April. Numbers crunched by S&P Global Mobility show that EV registrations rose 14% over the first quarter, even as Tesla sales slipped. Ford and Kia in particular saw big gains as they offered some good deals. Tesla still remains the top brand for EV sales, followed by Ford and Hyundai. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
And Shirley, there was a health scare for Detroit sports legend. Lions Hall of Fame running back Barry Sanders is taking time to recover at home after experiencing a scare related to his heart over the Father's Day weekend. Sanders thanked his doctors and his fans, saying he's taking time to prioritize his health and his well-being. The 55-year-old goes on to say the scare was unexpected. Remind all of us to stay vigilant about our physical well-being, even when we are feeling fine.
Oh, my. All right. Some words of wisdom from Barry Sanders, and hope he's doing well. It is 6:13 on WSGW. It is weather time. Forecasting and update. Here is WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much into Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
And the conditions of a barometer that's rising at 2990. Wind is out of the west, maybe 5. 61 at WSGW. Your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and your connection to the world. Few places reporting a little fog this morning, too. I don't think we have anything official from the National Weather Service. Some of it's just starting to pop up in some of the weather-related messages that we receive from around the state. Let me just do a quick check and find out if maybe there's something going on that might be more than just some fog. You might be driving in and out, and I would suspect that's the case. Again, nothing official, but just so you know, a few areas reporting some places of fog. Shouldn't last long, I wouldn't think. In fact, already, since we have the early morning sunrises going on, looks like we have that sunny day getting a start already in the Great Lakes Bay region. Getting ready for sports. That's next on WSGW.
Save big money at Menards and tame your landscape with 80-volt outdoor power equipment from Masterforce. Designed with power and performance in mind, you can now maximize your productivity with a new Flex Connect system. Quickly switch from different Flex Connect attachments like the hedge trimmer, pole saw, string trimmer, edger, and more to turn the power of one tool into multiple. Kickstart your project today with Masterforce at Menards and see the rest of our deals on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Let's do sports on WSGW. And at 6:16, we're talking Tigers baseball from yesterday. Tigers having a fun day with an offensive explosion that's, well, it's been a while. I mean, in the previous 6 games, the Tigers didn't score more than 2 runs. And in 5 of the 6 games, Tigers are held to 1 run or even being shut out. And yesterday, destroying the White Sox 11-2. And it started out early in the very first inning. Matt Vierling, he led off with a triple, and then Colt Keith came to the plate.
1-0, swinging a fly ball, left center field, going back, Benintendi at the fence, looking up, and it's gone, a home run! Colt Keith goes oppo. 4th home run in the major leagues, and the Tigers, 2 batters in, have a 2-0 lead.
And before that first inning was over, Tigers actually hit for the cycle in the first inning, and it was capped by an Akil Baddoo home run. So 5 runs in the first, and then 4 more in the second, capped.
Fly ball, left field, fairly deep, riding the breeze, Benintendi back at the fence, gone! Riley Green, high in the air to left. Hits number 15. It's a 3-run shot. Tigers having some fun now. 9-0 lead in the second.
Yeah, overall a 16-hit attack in that 11-2 win. Colt Keith with a 4-hit day of a double, a 2-run homer, scored 3 times at 3 RBI. It's his 3rd 4th-hit game since May 17th. And Riley Green with a couple of hits, including that 3-run homer you just heard. Zach McKinstry with 2 hits, including a solo home run, and Akil Baddoo with a 2-run homer. Wencel Perez had 3 hits, all to support the pitching of Reese Olson. He goes 6 1/3 innings of 2-run baseball, 4 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Tigers now welcome the Philadelphia Phillies to town, and a 6:15 broadcast tonight on 790 AM WSGW. Casey Mize on the mound. From Dow Diamond, our Great Lakes Loons and Quad Cities River Bandits split a doubleheader. In the first game, Quad Cities wins 7-1. The Loons' lone run was a Kyle Nevin home run. In the nightcap, though, it went 8 innings. I remember in minor league baseball, they play doubleheaders as 7 innings, so 8 innings is an extra inning. Scoreless into the bottom of the 8th. The extra inning runners on second. The Loons sacrifice them to third, 1 out. Then the River Bandits intentionally walk the next 2 batters to load the bases and set up the force play. After a strikeout, there's now 2 outs. And with Kyle Nevin batting, he fouls off 5 straight pitches. And then he strikes out, but on the strikeout, it's a passed ball. And the runner on third scores for the walk-off win. A walk-off pass ball. Jackson Ferris went 6 scoreless innings. Oscar Rayo, 2 scoreless innings for the win. Loons off today. Going to be at the Lake County Captains starting tomorrow. Stanley Cup tonight. The most exciting 2 words in sports. Game 7. Who thought we'd be here? The Florida Panthers led the Edmonton Oilers 3-0. Edmonton has now won 3 in a row. Tonight, winner hoists the Stanley Cup. Oilers trying to become the 5th team in NHL history to come back to win a series after trailing 3-0. And it's only been done once in the Stanley Cup final. Of course, that was 1942 when the Maple Leafs came back to beat our Detroit Red Wings. Golf, the PGA Travelers Championship. Scotty Scheffler beats Tom Kim on the first playoff hole. Women's PGA Championship. Amy Yang wins by 4. The Champions Tour goes to Padraig Harrington. Live Golf playing in Nashville, and Terrell Hatton wins. NASCAR racing at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell outlasts rain and darkness and repeated caution flags to win. I mean, the race lasted more than 6 hours after a more than 2-hour rain delay plus 14 cautions. It's sports on WSGW and your morning team. It's 6:20.
Applied Innovation customer Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew, worked with Applied Innovation's team to streamline costs.
He actually sat down and listened to what we needed. We went through and looked at our usage for all of our devices across the office and came up with a solution together that has worked really well.
What did you and Applied Innovation come up with?
We actually consolidated everything down to 18 devices based on usage, based on volumes. So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
In half?
We went from almost $20,000 to $9,500 a month.
Wow, you're glad Applied Innovation came along.
It's been a wonderful relationship, and I plan on continuing it as long as I can.
Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
It is, well, it's a question, not an answer, or is it an answer because of the question? It has to do with a new postage stamp. Hey, Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you on WSGW, and it is 6:22 on your Monday. This is something that was officially announced last Friday and started to get attention over the weekend. And it is a new forever stamp, and it's going to be an honor stamp for legendary game show host, though he passed away several years ago now, Alex Trebek. Remember the old Jeopardy show, of course, that he hosted for 37 years? How can we not forget that? And the stamp is done in Jeopardy fashion. I've got a image up on the Morning Team page. If you want to check it out, you go to WSGW.com. You scroll down the homepage, find that red section which highlights shows. Look for the Morning Team circle. Click on that. Today's date being June 24th, 2024. Ken Jennings have made the official announcement. And it is going to be part of the coordination with the show's 60th Diamond Celebration, which was launched earlier this year. In fact, pre-sales of the stamp have already gone on sale. And it comes in a sheet of 20. And it shows Alex Trebek off to the left side, shows kind of the Jeopardy board with the categories entertainment, game show hosts, famous Alexes, and forever stamps. But each stamp shows the answer, which is this naturalized U.S. citizen hosted the quiz show Jeopardy for 37 seasons. And then underneath that and upside down on the border of the stamp, it says Alex Trebek.
That's awesome.
Yeah, here's that a cool image.
Yeah.
Is that nice? Yeah, that is. That really is. Again, it's already on sale for pre-sale. I don't know when it's going to be on sale. I was checking, but I didn't see any reference. Unless it's already gone on sale at your local post office, if you still visit. A lot of people do a lot of the postal work they do online these days. So, but it is a forever stamp. Which means when you do purchase it, even when the price goes up, as it will,
yeah,
the forever stamp will still be good. I didn't realize it was 2020 that he passed away. Now that's 4 years ago already.
Yeah,
time flies.
It does, and it just sometimes you forget the timeline there. And again, Kenny Jennings, the new host, I think his wife was also part of that. I'm trying to find.
I know they had a couple different hosts that they were switching between, but he does such a great job.
He became the permanent guy. Jennings, along with Gene Trebek and Michael Elston, Secretary of the Board of Governors of the United States Postal Service, making the official announcement.
Very cool.
There you go. There's your answer to the question. Or the question
to
the answer.
I understand it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know. Too early on a Monday for that. Kim Commando is coming up. Kim is going to talk about dash cams, especially, she says, as we get into some of those heavily traveled summertime opportunities, like the next one could be Independence Day. She got a few things to tell you about when it comes to dash cams coming up next.
I worked on the ranch here, first with my grandfather and then my dad. On this land, we do have a lot of sun, but also have a lot of wind. So having the turbines on the ranch is a benefit to us. I was apprehensive about the whole project, but now I think it's a win-win for everybody. We will produce power for the folks around this area, and this land will have a legacy. As a rancher, I think that's what we really hope for.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
It's the Stormmaster Exterior Studios of WSGW, and WSGW is online with Stormmaster Exteriors.
4th of July is coming up, and AAA says about 71 million people will travel over 50 miles during the week, the most ever. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Accelerate your AI workload today. Take a free test drive at oracle.com/Kim. Unfortunately, record travel means more accidents and road rage. Being a defensive driver helps, but a dash cam offers extra protection. If you're in an accident and not at fault, having footage makes it easier to prove. Unfortunately, no two dash cams are made equal. When choosing a dash cam, look for one with at least 1080p resolution for clear footage. A wide field of view, 120 degrees or more, will capture a better scope of the scene. Good low-light performance is crucial for night recording. Built-in GPS can log speed and location, and a dash cam that records while parked can catch hit and runs. Make sure that you get a dash cam before hitting the road this holiday. Good news, I have the top 3 reviewed on my website right now at commando.com, Komando.com. AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing. And of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim, oracle.com/Kim.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS has raised the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes in recent years. This hits hard if you're behind on your taxes. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. If you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Lions, with training camp beginning in just a few weeks, I know you're looking to get some quality players in. If you're looking for a linebacker, I got a suggestion for you. Now, he's already got a job, but his tackling skills were on full display over the weekend, and, well, we'll tell you how to see the evidence. Might consider it, Lions. I'm just saying. Yeah, this is getting attention, and for good reason. And we'll explain it coming up on WSGW. 6:30 is your morning team time on this Monday with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you. Temp right now is 61, going to be pushing 80 for a high in the sunshine. We've already got that sunshine starting this morning. More news comes up for you right now as we go back into the WSGW newsroom. And here's Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Circumstances surrounding how a 3-year-old fell from a 9th-story window in Flint last Friday are still unknown as police continue their investigation. Emergency personnel were dispatched to the Rickert Manor apartment building at 902 East Court Street around 12:25 p.m. after receiving a report about a boy's fall. The child was rushed to Hurley Medical Center but was pronounced dead. The Flint Police Department and Genesee County Sheriff's Department are handling the investigation. The Bay City landmark on Washington Avenue will be demolished this week. According to WNEM TV5, the Prime Event Center, formerly known as the Empire Theater, is slated for demolition, though an exact day is not available. The building shares space with Washington Lanes, which will close if the demolition affects their business. Closures will be announced at the Washington Lanes website and on their Facebook page. New development is expected to be built in that location, which may include retail and residential space. No timeline for the development has been given. Several events over the weekend were canceled due to potential severe weather. On Saturday, the Bay City Music Festival canceled its lineup and indicated refunds would be issued to ticket holders. However, performer Waylon Hannell held a free pop-up concert around 6 p.m. The Great Lakes Bay Pride Festival also canceled on Saturday, scheduled to take place in Bay City's Winona Park. Organizers are looking to reschedule the event at some point later this summer. And Saturday activities at the Pinconning Cheesetown Festival were canceled, though the challenge race went on as planned. The Genesee County Sheriff's Department is allowing in-person visits for families with members in the county jail. Operation Restoration will allow families with children at 12 and under to visit their mothers or fathers who may be in jail starting July 6th from 9 to 10 a.m. and from 11 to noon for inmates registered with Motherly Intercession. Motherly Intercession's mission is to empower children to break the cycle of intergenerational incarceration. According to Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson, it's the first time in 11 years inmates will be able to have in-person visits with family members, and the jail will be the only one in Michigan with its in-person visits, as many have switched to virtual visits. From June through September, Michigan State University Extension and MSU Ag Bio Research will host a series of field days on campus and at research and extension centers across the state. Locally, the Michigan Wheat Program's Summer Field Day will be held at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center at 3775 South Reese Road in Frankenmuth. That takes place tomorrow from 8:15 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pre-registration is encouraged by visit canr.msu.edu/events for an accurate headcount for food. Other topics of this year's field days include management of dairy, dry beans, Christmas trees, potatoes, turf grass, and others. All events are open to the public. Some are free, while others have registration fees. Check the details of the individual event for more information at canr.msu.edu. WSGW News Time, 6:34.
The fundraisers are done. The time has come to party! It's the 2024 St. Stan's Polish Festival. 4 fun-filled days of polka music along with homemade Polish and American food, games for all ages, raffles, 80 by 210 entertainment tent with a 40 by 80 dance floor, and the Skirbeck Family Carnival and its amazing midway. Where? On John Solinsky Drive, Bay City. Visit us on Facebook for the band lineups and all the special events, including Kids Day on Saturday and Family Day on Sunday. The 2024 St. Stan's Polish Festival, June 27th through the 30th.
Meristem Crop Performance is seeking experienced, leading sales professionals in this area. Are you tired of the wasteful practices of corporate America putting a cap on your earnings? Do you excel at working directly with farmers to help them get more bushels for less? Apply now to help farmers adapt new technologies like Revlon Hopper Throttle Excavator and Upshift Seed. Learn more at meristemag.com.
WSGW News Time 6:35. A crash in Ann Arbor has left a bicyclist in critical condition at the hospital. The cyclist, a 45-year-old of Ypsilanti, was crossing Washtenaw Avenue when the driver struck him while she was traveling through the intersection. The 23-year-old driver, also from Ypsilanti, stopped at the scene and is fully cooperating with the investigation, according to police. Drugs and alcohol are not believed to be factors in the crash. A new Harris poll shows about 2/3 of U.S. workers believe a 4-day work week will become the standard in their lifetime. Is this something that we could see in Michigan and across the U.S.? Someone who has done research on the topic is Jeffrey Sanchez-Burks, professor of business administration at U of M. He says the concept is gaining momentum.
People are not only wanting a little bit more attention and respect for their private lives, but sometimes they see it as that's how much they're getting paid, or they also feel that they are able to get their work done. So it's complicated to say, is it better or worse? There are various opinions on it, but for sure, this is a trend locally, nationally, and in many parts of the world.
Sanchez-Burks says companies will have to find a new way of measuring productivity. Motor oil and kerosene have seeped into the Rouge River from the old Northville Downs horse racing track. The demolition of a building at the Downs, a mixed-use development on the grounds of the old horse track, released the oil and kerosene into a storm drain and into the river on Friday afternoon. The Northville City Fire Department and Western Wayne Hazmat Team responded and started containment procedures. The private cleanup contractor will continue containment. 2 booms that absorb and contain contaminants will remain in place on the Rouge River until the EPA and the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy are satisfied. The city of Northville says there's no danger to the public, and Northville City Fire Department will monitor operations. Charlie, a pair of America's best road trips are right here in Michigan, according to Michigan News Network's Luke Sloan.
3,000 families voted 2 Michigan trips among the best in the nation. Lansing to Holland has been named the 82nd most sought-after family trip for this year. According to those polled, road trippers can see the state capitol and Potter Park Zoo, closing out the trip with Holland State Park or the annual Tulip Time Festival. Number 109 is Grand Rapids to the Sleeping Bear Dunes. Vacationers can kick it off with a visit to the Meyer Gardens and then finish it by climbing the dunes and visiting the cherry orchards and beaches. Luke Sloan for the Michigan News Network.
Lots of time to enjoy those activities too, as far as those or others that you might think are the best for you. It is 6:38 on WSGW. Weather to do for you and that forecast update. It's being brought to you by Sanitary Mattress, the factory and the showroom that is local at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of Harry Brown Airport. Local since 1935, making quality mattresses to your special needs as necessary. Again, since 1935. Visit online, sanitarymattress.com, or call 989-753-1757. We're talking Sanitary Mattress. Now we're talking weather. WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
We have quite a quiet start to this work week today. Mostly sunny skies are going to be settling in. We'll have highs closer to 80 as we go into this afternoon, too, and dew points that should stay into the upper 50s, so much less humid than it was towards the end of last week. Now, going into tonight, we'll see our next round of rain returning. We are tracking a frontal system that does bring some scattered showers and some scattered thunderstorms along with it. This comes in very late tonight. We're talking around 5 to 6 o'clock at this point, pretty much getting into the early morning hours on Tuesday. There is a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms out of this line of rain that moves through. It's primarily going to be a stronger wind gust threat. Now, as we go into your Tuesday, though, that is going to be warmer than today, 85, and a bit more humid too. Dew points actually make their way all the way up to 70 tomorrow, so quite humid like it was at the end of last week. But then we see those dew points crashing down once again by Wednesday and Thursday, so quite comfortable through the middle of the week. Wednesday, we have a high of 80, then 75, and mostly sunny on Thursday. After the rainfall that we see on our Monday night and Tuesday morning, we really don't see our next round of rain returning until Friday night into Saturday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
All right, we have a barometric pressure. That's at 29.89, and it is rising. You got wind that's coming out of the west at 5 and a temp of 61 from WSGW. Your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and your connection to the world. Got nice sunshine already. We have it here at our studios. Hopefully you have it too. We have had reports that there might be a little fogginess in a couple places. Not a lot, but just so you know, it's actually out there. Nothing from the National Weather Service that's suggesting that there's any difficulties with it, by the way. The only messages from the National Weather Service having to do with the Lake Michigan shoreline, direct west to Mason County, down to the Berrien County southwest corner. Beach hazard statements in effect for today and into tonight. Other than that, enjoy the Monday weather.
Are you considering retirement? Are you turning 65 years old soon? You should be working with a local independent agency, not the insurance company, to get you the Medicare plan that fits your needs. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices in Saginaw, is an independent agency that will work for you. They will shop your needs with major insurance carriers and get excellent coverage with competitive premium options. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices, 989-899-7820. That's 989-899-7820.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Your Monday morning team of you and Charlie and Mike and Jonathan on 100.5, 790. Alexa, Siri, WSW.com. That listening that's made available online through the sponsorship of Stormmaster Exteriors, StormmasterExteriors.com. Also, your studio sponsor. Your morning team sponsor itself is Paintball. That's Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw. Look for that red awning on the east side of the road. Fixed fast for less, says the awning, especially when it comes to the body shop needs you might have, because Paintball is your body shop alternative, and so much more. Paintball on Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw, online, paintballrepair.com. Hey, in a moment, I got to give the Lions a suggestion of a potential linebacker. Yeah, he has a job now, but after being seen over the weekend with his ability to make a great tackle, he's getting attention, and, well, we want to make sure the Lions know that perhaps he might feel available. Got video to prove it, too. Again, a Monday, and it's a 6:43. Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you here on WSGW. Before we do anything else, though, we need to, on this Monday, I just talked about listening to WSGW and the variety of options that we have. There are many, and there are others that even I mentioned. I mentioned the most popular ones. But we are pleased to announce that we are going to do what we can to make available a new listening option. Jonathan Dent, I look quizzically at you since you are the man behind helping us to provide this opportunity.
It is available. It's up right now. You can go check it out. Go to WSGW's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I don't know why we have a Twitch, but it's up. And
we have a Twitch.
And X, formerly Twitter. We are live streaming the WSGW Morning Team. We're going to try it out this week and see how it goes, because this is the biggest thing for me. One, it's nice to have another option to tune in because these sources are readily available. But also, so often as we're talking here and having a great time, we go on to the next segment and then we get a phone call or an email or some other form of message from a listener that's very insightful to what we were talking about, or maybe they have something funny to say, or it would have added to the conversation. And I think that the biggest advantage that this offers us is if anybody is listening on any of those sources, the social media platforms, or if you're nearby to your computer and you think you have something to contribute, you can hop on, throw a comment in the live stream, and we'll be able to see it and bring it up, and it'll be part of the conversation, not just an afterthought. And I think that that is a huge advantage of this. So I want to try it out, see how it goes. I think it'll be a fun time. We don't have cameras up and running at this point, but we've got the morning team and it's live, and
it's happening right now as we speak.
As we speak, there are people listening to the WSGW Morning Team on social media.
So again, these sites are our regular Facebook page, right?
Yep, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter, and Twitch.
All right.
Just look up WSGW Radio on any of those, and you will be able to find us.
More options.
More options is always good.
It is good. It's amazing how the traditional radio, I mean, this still is radio.
We are still on 790 AM, 100.5 FM.
But the delivery system has become so much more of a system that is, well, utilizing the technology that people are utilizing themselves. And we're right there with you.
I realize we do have a lot of listeners listening in the car. Do not try and post a comment in the social media stream while you're driving.
Please.
Michigan is a hands-free electronic devices state.
Let your passenger do it.
Yeah.
Don't you do it, for goodness
Hand the
sakes.
phone to the kid in the back seat and as you're driving them to school.
Because they're going to know what to do with it anyway.
Yeah, they'll know.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting. Well, thank you very much for helping to make that option, make that opportunity a reality. Jonathan Dent, with his technology expertise. I'm trying to think what's the proper way to phrase it.
It's less expertise and more just familiarity. I think that's a good word.
He's got the knowledge.
Not an expert.
Well, it is true that, well, you become one just because of your familiarity with it too.
I suppose.
And you are of the generation that this has been part of you. It's not a learning curve such as it has been for my generation, where we didn't have it, and now we're having to get on board and still learning some of it. And frankly, some of it never will learn. We'll just turn to the younger generation.
As if to illustrate my point, Ray tunes in. He heard us on the radio. It looks like he joined the stream, and he says, "Great feature. Thanks for making this possible." So there we go. Ray, you're our first interaction via the live stream.
Thank you, Ray. There's the answer to the future WSW trivia question. What was the name of the first listener comment when
we have a contest going? We'll ask.
Ray. Well, check it out, folks. Again, maybe it's something that's going to work for you in another way from what you're already doing when you listen to us, or maybe it's going to be maybe it's something won't interest you. That's fine too. But the option is there.
It's an option.
It's an option. 6:48 on WSGW. So over the weekend, maybe you heard, it's getting attention in news. It became a news event, a PGA tournament, the Travelers Championship. We're in the final round on the 18th green, as the final grouping was on the green. Some protesters decided to make their presence known. 6 protesters rushed the 18th green at the PGA Travelers Championship in Cromwell, Connecticut. They were spraying smoke and powder. They wore T-shirts with the words, "No golf on a dead planet." That's their mantra. They even had a news release that they sent to the Associated Press to explain their actions. It's a group called Extinction Rebellion, an activist group known for disrupting events around the world. And they say first of all, they blame climate change for a storm that apparently hit the area over the weekend that actually injured 2 people at a home.
Oh, really?
So they say because climate change, the storm was big enough and disruptive enough to cause that. And they also talk about how golf, more than any other event, is heavily reliant on good weather. So golf fans should therefore understand better than most the need for strong, immediate climate action, figuring they'd have some supporters from the golf fans. No. Golf fans were not happy, booed and heckled and used language I cannot play for you on the radio. However, when the police responded, the police got a big cheer. And this is where the Lions now should take note. I don't have the name of this officer, but I can show you the video. It's starting to get attention. So I'll show you here. So take note. So here's the protesters. There's one of the protesters.
Okay.
And you see behind him a police officer.
Yes.
Note that the protester's back is to the police officer.
He has no idea what's coming.
He has no idea what's coming, but what's coming is this. Boom! Flying tackle by the officer, takedown, arrested and handcuffed. Which got a huge cheer from the audience. It was a really good tackle.
It was.
Go back and see the boom. I mean, textbook tackle, wrapped his arms around him, took him down, face planting into the ground.
And the support was there immediately.
And the support was there. So, yeah, just to make sure that the
hit.
Man was down and the ball was marked there.
Yeah.
Or in this case, the protester's face was marked there. So,
man, golf courses are getting really creative with their obstacles.
Yeah. Nobody saw that hazard, did they? You got the water, you got the bunker, you got the protester. They were all arrested, and I'm sure they'll be paying fines and everything else, too. And Scotty Scheffler went in, too. Didn't phase him. He went on to win the tournament in a playoff. So we put the video up, though, on our morning team page. You want to check it out. And you can see the future linebacker in the NFL, if he has any interest, a Cromwell, Connecticut police officer and the tackle at the PGA event. Let's start going up to the hour, up to the minute with news and business and weather and sports on WSGW. It's 6:52.
From Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz. Our top story this hour, a 9-year veteran of the Oakland County Sheriff's Office was shot and killed late Saturday while pursuing a stolen car in Detroit. Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard said instead of giving up or running, the driver of the stolen car stopped suddenly, exited the car, and opened fire, striking Deputy Bradley Reckling, 30 years old, in the head and torso. It was an ambush, Bouchard said. Reckling was one of 3 detectives from the office's auto theft unit searching for the car in Detroit and located it before 11 o'clock. Detroit and Michigan State Police responded immediately to the officer down call, set up a perimeter, and took 3 suspects into custody, Bouchard said. Reckling is survived by his wife, children ages 5, 4, and 1, and his wife is expecting another child. The no swimming advisory at Oval Beach has been lifted. Tim Knight has the story.
The advisory was put in effect after the Allegan County Health Department found high amounts of E. coli at the beach last week. The advisory said the high bacteria levels were caused by a nearby runoff. The advisory was lifted after the water testing showed acceptable levels of E. coli. For Michigan News Source, I'm Tim Knight.
There won't be any dairy animals at the Shiawassee County Fair this summer. That's according to state and county officials. The culprit, they say, is the presence of the bird flu in Michigan. As of May 3rd, bird flu has been confirmed in 18 domestic animals in Michigan across Eaton, Ionia, and Saginaw counties. Michigan also has 2 confirmed cases of bird flu in humans. Officials made the decision not to show dairy animals this year after much deliberation and consultation in consideration of the safety and well-being of the county's dairy herds. They said the decision is out of an abundance of caution. For Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz.
At 7 o'clock on CBS News, flooding leaves some Midwest towns almost completely submerged. Two sources tell CBS News federal prosecutors are asking the Justice Department to criminally prosecute Boeing, and a Hawaii lifeguard and popular surfer is killed in a shark attack.
We'll get to those stories coming up on WSGW. That's at 7 o'clock as we continue up to that hour. And you're up to the minute reports now. A Fox Business Report. And the time is 6:54.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There are updates this week on the housing market, on how Americans are viewing the economy, and on whether prices are moderating. Tomorrow is the update on consumer confidence for May. Friday is consumer sentiment for June. Tomorrow, the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index is released, and Thursday is pending home sales. A key report this week will be the inflation update, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index for May. Economist John Lonsky believes the economy is slowing.
I think that there is, a real danger of a stall or something worse by the final quarter of this year or at the time of the November elections.
Tomorrow, FedEx and Carnival Cruise Line report earnings, followed by General Mills and Micron Technology on Wednesday and Nike on Thursday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
It's up to the hour, and you're up to the minute weather of WNEM First Alert Meteorologist Matthew Mondro at 6:56.
A very pleasant Monday is ahead with highs up to 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies and lower humidity today as well. We'll have a northwest wind shifting to the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, a low of 63. We're first alerting you to scattered showers and thunderstorms very late tonight, starting up at around 5 to 6. That does carry over into Tuesday morning. It does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat. Then we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70 tomorrow. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Barometric pressure 2990, rising. Wind is westerly about 5. You got 61 degrees from WSGW, your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and your connection to the world. Time is now approaching 6:58 at WSGW. And we immediately turn our attention to your up to the hour, up to the minute sports. Hey, Tigers getting attention for a blowout win yesterday against the Chicago White Sox at Comerica Park. An 11-2 win as the Tigers put 9 runs on the board in the first 2 innings combined. A 16-hit attack led by Colt Keith with his 4 hits, including a 2-run homer. Bradley Green had a 3-run homer. Akil Baddoo a 2-run homer. Zach McKinstry a solo home run. The bats were booming. The Tigers now going to entertain the Philadelphia Phillies in a series that starts tonight at Comerica Park. 6:15 on 790 AM WSGW. Casey Mize on the mound. Our Great Lakes Loons and Quad Cities River Bandits split a doubleheader yesterday. Quad Cities wins the first game 7-1. The Loons win the nightcap 1-0 in 8 innings, a walk-off win. Remember, in the minor leagues and doubleheaders, they play 7 innings, so 8th inning was a walk-off. With bases loaded and 2 out, the Loons batter struck out, but the ball got by the catcher, which means the runner can advance to first, and the runner on third came home. Loons win essentially on a walk-off passed ball. Stanley Cup Final Game 7 tonight. The most exciting 2 words in sports. Who thought we'd going to be here? With the Edmonton Oilers and Florida Panthers tied at 3 games apiece after the Oilers trailed in the series at one point, 3-0. Golf, the PGA Travelers Championship. We were just talking about that. Scotty Scheffler beats Tom Kim on the first playoff hole to win. Sports on WSGW at 6:59.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
It's news time with WSGW. It's 7 o'clock.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Deadly flooding has swept parts of the Midwest. The water spilled over the banks of 13 rivers in northwest Iowa, swallowing up entire neighborhoods. Governor Kim Reynolds has declared a disaster for 21 counties.
The projected damage is staggering, and at this time, it's estimated that at least 1,900 properties are impacted and hundreds have been destroyed, as well as a lot of property on ag land has also been impacted by the far-reaching flooding.
Governor Kristi Noem says at least one person was killed in South Dakota. Blistering heat moves from the Northeast into the South and Midwest today. Sources tell CBS News federal prosecutors are asking the Justice Department to criminally prosecute Boeing. Legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
The charges are based on allegations that Boeing breached a 2021 agreement related to conspiracy to defraud the FAA based on 2 fatal crashes.
The Russians have summoned the U.S. ambassador to complain about weapons shipments to Ukraine. Correspondent Cami McCormick reports.
The U.S. ambassador was called to the foreign ministry in Moscow. Russia says the U.S. is engaging in a hybrid war and blamed Washington for a deadly missile attack in Crimea. The Kremlin has warned of consequences and says the war in Ukraine is entering the most dangerous phase to date.
In southern Russia, deadly attacks in Dagestan targeting religious institutions. The BBC's Steve Rosenberg from Moscow.
This seems to have been a coordinated attack late Sunday afternoon on 2 cities in Dagestan, Derbent and Makhachkala. Attacks on 2 churches and 2 synagogues and a police checkpoint. The gun battles between the gunmen and the security services continued long into the night. We believe 8 hours they went on for.
So far, no claim of responsibility. Past attacks there have been carried out by Islamic extremists. Officials in South Korea believe a fire triggered an explosion that killed 22 people and injured 8 others at a lithium battery factory near Seoul today. Most of the victims were Chinese migrant workers. Many have moved to South Korea searching for jobs. A surfing legend's been killed in a shark attack in Hawaii. Oahu's acting ocean safety chief, Kurt Lager.
Tamayo Perry was a lifeguard loved by all. He's well known on the North Shore. He's a professional surfer known worldwide.
Perry also appeared in the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. S&P futures are up 6. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. This is where you can get all of your routine maintenance done. Oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, and they work on all makes and models of cars, not just Fords. Chevys, Toyotas, Hondas, Jeeps, Dodge, you name it. They keep them all in tip-top shape. And here is a tip from Quick Lane Freeland.
Do you suffer from allergies? Did you know FrigiFresh kills germs in your vehicle's air conditioning system? FrigiFresh is a hospital-grade disinfectant that controls pollen, molds, and mildew inside your car. It's only $20 and takes less than 10 minutes for the treatment. You can get Friggy Fresh at Quick Lane next to McDonald Ford in Freeland. Just stop in. No appointment needed.
Quick Lane, Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford, working on all makes and models of cars.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
When Team USA competes at the upcoming Paris Olympic Games, should we really be known as Team USAC? I'll explain that coming up at 7:20. You with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan on WSGW. It's your morning team on a Monday. Sunshine, 62, sunshine and 80, the projected high today. Forecast on the way. Sports on the way. Fun for the Tigers yesterday. Kind of fun for the Loons yesterday. Bill O'Reilly's commentary at 7:25. What does Biden and Trump, what do they stand for? Bill O'Reilly will delve into that coming up with his commentary. We have more news to do, and we do for you now in the WSGW newsroom. Here's Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Police in Saginaw County are investigating a fatal crash in Spalding Township. Police say last Friday around 6 a.m., a passerby notified police of a car upside down in a water-filled ditch in the area of Curtis and Bishop Roads. Police discovered a 26-year-old Mount Morris Township man dead inside the car, though a dog inside managed to survive. Details on how and when the crash occurred have yet to be made available. A 21-year-old man was charged with federal gun violations last Thursday. Police say 21-year-old Mac Davis was at his home in the 800 block of Lion Street in Owasso when he fired a gun from inside his bedroom. Police obtained a search warrant for the home and discovered several firearms, one of which they say was an illegally shortened .22 caliber rifle. Davis was brought up on charges of possession of a short-barreled rifle, which is a federal offense. He has a preliminary hearing on July 8th. A tornado was confirmed to have touched down in Gladwin County over the weekend. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado with peak wind speeds of up to 90 miles an hour and a maximum width of 200 yards touched down Saturday around 4:05 p.m., about 9 miles northeast of the city of Gladwin. The tornado traveled on the ground for about 10 miles, ending at 4:27 p.m. Trees were damaged along the tornado's path, though there's currently no word on any structures damaged. No injuries were reported. The Michigan Department of Transportation is resuming concrete patching work on M25 from Madison Avenue to Veterans Memorial Bridge in Bay City. The work will improve the safety and operations of the roadway and provide a smoother driving surface extending the life of the road. One lane will remain open as crews work on each section of the roadway. Work is resuming today and is expected to be finished by this Thursday. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and state police are reminding residents and families about free gun locks. Gun owners can pick up free cable-style gun locks at any MDHHS county offices and some local health departments as well. Michigan law requires individuals to keep firearms locked and unloaded with a locking device or stored in a lock box or container if a known minor is present. Free gun locks are also available through Project Child Safe police partners across the state. Residents can check with their local health departments and visit their local MDHH office to request the lock while the supplies last. Staff who make home visits are also able to access gun locks if one is requested. For more information, visit michigan.gov/MSP. WSGW News Time 7:09.
This Educational Minute is brought to you by Bay City Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Stephen Bigelow.
Leadership, particularly in education, is a path that has yet to be traveled by many. It's not just about standing at the helm, it's about lighting the way for others to follow. From my beginnings in the classroom to my responsibilities today, every step has been a lesson. Every day, every challenge has been a testament to the fact that education leadership is a calling. It's waking each day with a singular focus to change lives, inspire, and create a lasting impact. Think of those educators who've touched your life. It's not just the knowledge they imparted, but how they made you feel, believed in, championed, and understood. That's the essence of leadership. It's recognizing potential and nurturing it. It's about standing in the storm so others can find their way. And at Bay City Public Schools, with each passing day, we are committed to leading with integrity, passion, and heart. Let's continue this journey together, making a difference one student at a time. Visit bcschools.net to learn more.
WSGW News Time 7:10. The U.S. Surgeon General has called for a warning label on social media to fight what he calls an emergency mental health crisis among youth who spend nearly 5 hours a day on social media sites like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and others. Program Manager of Family Services with Easter Seals Macomb Oakland Regional Centers, Jen Thayers, says they're seeing an increase in teen anxiety.
I do think it's an emergency. There's a lot of factors that go into what our teens are exposed to. For example, social media. We know that 95% of our teenagers ages 13 to 17, they're on social media. And research is showing that teens who use social media often are more anxious and unhappy than those who don't.
Thayer recommends parents observe their child's behavior. Even if they're moody, not sleeping, have stomach aches and headaches, they may want to seek some professional help. Michigan's top court will consider whether to further limit no parole life sentences. The Michigan Supreme Court said it will hear arguments in cases that could lead to a ban on automatic life prison sentences for young people. In 2022, the court said mandatory no parole sentences for 18-year-olds convicted of murder violated the Michigan Constitution's ban on cruel or unusual punishment. They'll now decide to extend the rule to those who were 19 or 20. No parole life sentences are still possible, but no longer automatic. Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumley was sentenced to life in prison, but a Miller hearing was required to decide if he was a candidate for rehabilitation. Online gambling continues to be a boom in Michigan. Here's Dan Jenkins with this.
Michigan commercial and tribal operators reported a combined $240 million in total internet gambling and sports betting receipts in the month of May. That's up 2% from the April figures. Those operators reported submitting $38.8 million in taxes and payments to the state of Michigan during May and $9.4 million to the city of Detroit. As of May, a total of 15 commercial and tribal operators have been authorized to launch online gambling and/or internet sports betting here in the state.
And Shirley, the week before the 4th of July holiday, gas prices in Michigan are down. The latest survey from AAA shows drivers in the state are paying an average of $3.51 per gallon of regular unleaded, which is a 6-cent drop from this time last week and 18 cents less than this time last month. Motorists are paying the highest prices in Ann Arbor and Traverse City at $3.57, with the lowest price in Benton Harbor at $3.44.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I saw coming in this morning. It was like 3:43, I think, right down the road here from our studios. I had to do a little traveling this weekend. I saw it as low as 3:25 in one place. So
that's pretty good. Where's that? I'll get gas there.
Yeah, I was down toward the Flint area. So
well,
yeah. Depending on how much gas you're putting in.
Right.
But to your point, this is where we are now, and yeah. Independence Day holiday comes up next week. Will there be a rise taking advantage of what will be an increased demand? Don't know. My guess is at some point it's going to, but that's a guess. I have no clue. But we'll keep on eyeing it for you and try and let you know if we see a bump up to where you might be able to still get it at a lower price before it goes up in all the other places too. Forecast, what's going on? We have the WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much in the Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
It is a rising barometer, and it's been rising throughout the morning. We're at 29.92. Wind is northwest around 6. Temp is 62 at WSGW. Your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and your connection to the world. We're prepared for sports. Those sports stories coming next on WSGW.
No need to fill the tank. There's plenty of summer fun right around the corner. The Saginaw Arts and Enrichment Commission and WSGW invite you to join the fun as Saginaw celebrates summer, presented by Hemlock Semiconductor. Concerts, movies, festivals, and much more taking place throughout downtown Saginaw and the riverfront area. There's something for everyone. For a complete list of events and activities, visit artsaginaw.org. And for daily updates on all the action, keep listening to WSGW.
Let's talk sports on WSGW as you were listening yesterday. Hopefully you were enjoying Detroit Tigers baseball. Well, if you were listening, you were, because the Tigers got a big victory over the Chicago White Sox, 11-2. I mean, in the previous 6 games, the Tigers did not score more than 2 runs. And in 5 of those games, 1 runner even being shut out. But it was an explosion yesterday that started early. Matt Vierling leads off with a triple. And then Colt Keith steps to the plate.
1-0, swinging a fly ball, left center field, going back, Benintendi at the fence, looking up, and it's gone, a home run! Colt Keith goes oppo. 4th home run in the major leagues, and the Tigers, 2 batters in, have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, in fact, before that first inning was out, the Tigers actually hit for a cycle as a team in that first inning, capped by Akil Badu's 2-run homer to make it 5-0. And then in the second, the runs kept on coming.
Fly ball, left field, fairly deep, riding the breeze. Benintendi back at the fence. Gone! Riley Green, high in the air to left. Hits number 15. It's a 3-run shot. Tigers having some fun now. 9-0 lead in the second.
How about that? A 16-hit attack. Colt Keith had 4 hits on the day. That's his 3rd 4-hit game since May 17th. He scored 3 times, had 3 RBI. Riley Green, a couple of hits, including that 3-run homer you just heard. Zach McKinstry had 2 hits, including a solo home run, and as we mentioned, Akil Badu with a 2-run homer. Wencel Perez had 3 hits as well. All supporting the pitching of Reese Olson. 6 1/3 innings. He went for a victory of 2 runs, 4 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Tigers now have the Phillies coming to town for a series starting tonight, 6:15 broadcast on 790 AM WSGW. Casey Mize on the mound. At Dow Diamond, it was a doubleheader split for our Loons against Quad Cities. The River Bandits win the first game 7-1. Kyle Nevin, a home run, was the only Loons run. The nightcap, though, was a crazy ending. So it's scoreless going into extra innings, into the 8th inning. Remember now, minor leagues have doubleheaders, they play 7 innings. So the 8th inning is now an extra inning. It's still scoreless into the bottom of the 8th. The Loons have the extra inning runner on second, sacrifice him to third, so there's 1 out. The River Bandits then intentionally walk the next 2 batters to load the bases, to set up the force play at any base. The next Loons batter strikes out. We got 2 outs. Kyle Nevin comes to the plate. ends up fouling off 5 straight pitches, and then as he strikes out, the ball gets by the catcher, which means Nevin can advance to first, and the runner from third can score, and that's how the Loons win a 2-out passed ball. Pitching, Jackson Ferris, 6 scoreless innings. Oscar Rayo, 2 scoreless innings of relief for the win. Loons are off today, going to be traveling to Lake County to play the Captains in the series starting tomorrow. Stanley Cup Final, the most exciting 2 words in sports. Game 7 tonight, Edmonton at Florida. Remember, in this series, the Panthers had won the first 3 games on the brink of a Stanley Cup championship, but Edmonton said, not so fast. The Oilers trying to become the 5th team in NHL history to come back after trailing a series 3-0. Only one other team has ever done it in the Stanley Cup Final. That was the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs beating our Detroit Red Wings, don't you know? Golf, the PGA Travelers Championship goes to Scotty Scheffler, who beats Tom Kim on the first playoff hole. The Women's PGA Championship, Amy Yang by 4. Champions Tour, Patrick Harrington wins. Live Golf in Nashville, and it's Terrell Hatton who wins. NASCAR at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Christopher Bell. He outlasts rain, darkness, and repeated caution flags to win. This race lasted more than 6 hours, including a more than 2-hour rain delay and 14 caution flags. It's sports on WSGW at 7:20. Coming up in just a moment, why Team USA in the upcoming Olympics might be known as Team USAC.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
This has always been a farming community, and folks here, we want to keep it that way. There's a saying that a farmer's last crop is housing. When they get to the end of the farm's life, they sell it and develop it. With solar projects, that's one more crop they can harvest, generating a stable income for them and tax revenue for our community. We would hate to see this place become another suburbia, and this way we don't have to. A solar farm is still a farm, and that's what we want around here.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
The Olympics will be here coming up next month. Team USAC will be ready to compete. Charlie, Mike, Jonathan, and you here on WSGW.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah. But what's the C? Well, here's the story. The U.S. Olympic team plans to supply air conditioners for its athletes at the Paris Games, a move that the organizers say will undercut our plan to try to curb carbon emissions. So from the USA Olympic and Paralympic CEO, Sarah Hirschland, she says, U.S. team appreciates the efforts aimed at sustainability. However, the Olympic Federation is going to supply air conditioning units for its athletes. As she says, as you can imagine, this is a period of time in which consistency and predictability is critical for Team USA's performance. And in our conversation with athletes, this was a very high priority, something that all the athletes felt was critical as a component in their performance capability to have a constant and moderated temperature within their housing unit. Can't be too hot, can't be too cold. It has to be. And, you know, when I think about it, I mean, we're talking high performance athletes. Now think about yourself in your own work situation. Depending on where you are, if it's too hot or if it's too cold, I mean, a lot of times just like, I don't know if it's performance affecting, but there's sometimes a certain mental.
Charlie?
Yes?
You work in the coldest room in the building. This studio is consistently the coolest, nicest room, air conditioning, heat in the winter. It is a nice room to be in. Do you know the studio that I work in across the hall?
I'm familiar with that studio across the hall.
We don't have any of that. We have an external wall, so in the winter it gets frigid. In the summer, the AC doesn't work, so I stick a fan in the hallway. If I close the door, I can't have the fan running while I've got a mic going
Can't have that background noise on there. So if I close the door for 2 minutes, it gets up to 80 degrees or higher in there.
See, your performance is being affected.
My performance is being affected.
These young people don't know what adversity is. Jeez.
and you can't open a window because the windows don't open.
You keep the newsroom 90 degrees, Mike.
Yeah, but that's by choice.
That's by choice. It's intentional year round.
Mike likes it that way. By the way, we're not the only country, by the way, that's going to bring our own air conditioning units to the Olympics. Germany, Australia, Italy, Canada, and Britain plan to do the same thing. So it's not just us; it's the rest of the world.
They don't have air conditioning in Paris?
Well, no. Again,
no, they don't.
Especially for the housing unit for the Olympic village. Apparently, what they were going to utilize is a system of cooling pipes underneath the floors, which they say should help, but they can't guarantee a consistency of temperature that an AC unit
especially
is going
if it's
to
90 degrees outside.
Yeah.
You know, how much is a cooling pipe going to help?
And it says here, according to the International Energy Agency, and they only referenced 2016, 8 years ago, the entire European Union has around 100 million air conditioning units. That's the entire European.
Yeah, that's not many.
The U.S., 375 million.
Mm-hmm.
China leads the way with 570 million. So air conditioning is not as prominent, shall we say.
I get it. For high performance athletes, it's every little thing contributes to their ability to compete. So it makes sense to me.
That's what they say. It's a high performance environment, and we need to make sure that the environment is high performance. So Team USAC will be competing in the upcoming Paris Games. It could be that extra little enhancement that's necessary.
Pretty cool.
Bill O'Reilly's commentary is coming up on WSGW. What do Biden and Trump stand for? Bill O'Reilly will have his analysis coming up next.
Hi, everyone. Eric here with Crane's L&M Appliance Center. When we say we want to earn your business, we mean it. Get name brand appliances such as GE, LG, and Speed Queen with special financing and rebates available. Need a new mattress, recliner, or couch? Let our staff at our Carroll location help you find the perfect one. See us today in Saginaw at 3260 Bay Road or in Carroll at 1556 West Carroll Road. Remember, here at Crane's L&M, we want to earn your business.
From the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, you are listening to 100.5 FM and 790 AM. And from Stormmaster Exteriors, you are listening online at WSGW.com.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, if you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, listen up. CarShield is a low-cost monthly vehicle protection plan now available to you. This protection plan is at an all-time low price. Please call 800-925-7584 for a free quote. Drivers who activate today will also receive free roadside assistance and towing at no additional cost. That is 800-925-7584 right now. On this Monday, it is debate week, so let me ask you a question. What does Donald Trump stand for ideologically? What does Joe Biden stand for as far as a belief system is concerned? I'm going to answer those questions. First, the president. So, to me, analyzing Joe Biden's presidency, he is a far left progressive guy. But that's a change. As a senator for decades, he was a moderate conservative Democrat. But now he's not. He's a Roman Catholic. He goes to church, but he believes that there should be no limits whatsoever on abortion. That tells us he really doesn't have a belief system. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, he is not an ideologue. He is not a conservative. He plays to the right-wing base because that's where the MAGA people live. But Trump, if you analyze his presidency and his past, is simply a deal maker. If you ask Donald Trump to explain the conservative philosophy, I don't think he could do that. But he made good deals as president. It helped the country. So there are the answers to the questions. Biden, far left governance, Trump, deal maker. Right back. Are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? My friends at Lone Star Transfer are the only company I trust to help you. For more than a decade, they have successfully helped over 20,000 owners get out of their timeshare with an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. Customer service is their priority. For a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, 855-551-7066 or go to LoneStarTransfer.com. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Hey, Michigan drivers. Are you sending or answering group chats behind the wheel? Checking emails at the light? Calling family or friends on the commute? Michigan's hands-free law makes it illegal to manually use electronic devices while behind the wheel of a vehicle. Breaking the law could mean fines or even community service. Go hands-free, just drive. It's the law. Learn more at michigan.gov/distracted driving. A message from the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning.
We were talking about air conditioning. I've just come across a story which suggests what is the best temperature to set your AC. What is the best temperature? Now think about what you do. Are you setting it at the best suggested temperature, at least according to a couple of government agencies? I'll tell you what the answer is coming up. Also going to have some fun with the songs that peaked at number 2 Monday. Yeah, it's a Monday. We have a little fun with that. And we'll do that for you after the news. With Charlie and Mike and Jonathan here, your morning team on WSGW at 7:30. Weather, that's going to be fun to hear. The forecast, at least for today anyway. Got a little up and down between the next several days of a nice day, a wet day, and then a nice day. Today's high could be 80. Right now it's 62. This news being brought to you by Delta Door, the Delta Door Doctor. For that best garage doors and service and more, you call the Delta Door Doctor because he knows doors. In the newsroom with Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. A child died in Flint last Friday after falling from a 9th-story window. Police say the 3-year-old fell from a window at the Rickert Manor apartment building at 902 East Court Street around 12:25 p.m. Circumstances on how the child fell aren't known at this time. They were rushed to a Hurley Medical Center where the boy was pronounced dead. The investigation into the incident is ongoing. Several events over the weekend were canceled due to potential severe weather. On Saturday, the Bay City Music Festival canceled its lineup and indicated refunds would be issued to ticket holders, though performer Waylon Hannell held a free pop-up concert around 6 p.m. The Great Lakes Bay Pride Festival was also canceled on Saturday, scheduled to take place in Bay City's Winona Park. Organizers are looking to reschedule that event at some point later this summer. Saturday activities at the Pinconning Cheesetown Festival were also canceled, though the challenge race went on as planned. A Bay City landmark on Washington Avenue will be demolished this week. According to WNEM TV5, the Prime Event Center, formerly known as Empire Theater, is slated for demolition, though an exact day is not available. The building shares space with Washington Lanes, which will close if the demolition affects the business. Closures will be announced at the Washington Lanes website and on their Facebook page. New development is expected to be built in that location, which may include retail and residential space. No timeline for the development has been given. Due to a special neighborhood cleanup event, Gallagher Street in Saginaw will be closed from Maplewood Avenue to Hazelwood Avenue today until Friday around 4 p.m. The road will be closed to through traffic, so please follow the posted detour. Crews are also removing a tree in Saginaw on Mackinac Street between South Michigan and South Fayette. That's going to require the northbound lane to be closed today only till around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Follow that detour or find an alternate route if possible. The southbound lane will remain open. Gardner White Furniture has announced a free meet and greet event with JJ from Cocomelon. The event will be held July 14th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Gardner White in Saginaw at 2660 Tittabawassee Road. Family activities include arts and crafts, music, face painting, and more. During the event, Gardner White will offer an additional 30% off sale price, and a percentage of sales from the event will benefit the Covenant Kids Foundation. Meet and greets for JJ have also been scheduled for Novi and Shelby Township stores. For more information or to register, please visit gardnerwhite.com. WSGW News Time 7:34.
For the best garage doors, service and more, call the Delta Door Doctor. He knows doors. Residential, commercial, we've got them in store. That's the Delta Door Doctor. He knows doors. We've got the selection and we've got the price, and the Delta Door team really treats you right.
When it comes to servicing, repairing, or replacing your garage doors and openers, no one does it better than Delta Door. From simple tune-ups and repairs to full replacement and upgrades, you can trust the experts at Delta Door to get the job done right away. Don't settle for anything less than Delta Door's over 80 years of serving the Great Lakes Bay region. Call the garage door experts at Delta Door.
For the best garage doors, service and more, call the Delta Door Doctor. Delta Door.
Delta Door, 2835 Universal Drive, Saginaw.
WSGW News Time 7:35. It's been nearly a year since Michigan enacted distracted driving laws. Have they been working? Ryan McMahon works for Cambridge Mobile Telematics, a Massachusetts-based firm tracking data from drivers participating voluntarily to analyze statistics and driver behavior. He joined a recent episode of the Talking Michigan Transportation podcast. McMahon says the amount of distracted driving crashes dropped the first 2 months of the law.
The amount of distraction in Michigan went down 11%. That is a significant number. It's actually almost 12%, 11.7%. The next month, so month 2, that number increased. So that the amount of decrease increased. So the total amount went to 13.5% below what it was before the law went into effect.
The number of these crashes started to drop after the 8th month. The statistics estimate 17 fatal crashes have been avoided as a result. A new class of inductees into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame has been announced. Among those who will be recognized during an induction ceremony in October are former Tigers great Cecil Fielder, who was a 3-time All-Star, former U of M and Detroit Pershing football star Larry Foote, who won 2 Super Bowls while playing for Pittsburgh, Pudge Rodriguez, who helped lead the Tigers to the 2006 World Series, and former Michigan stars Braylon Edwards and Jake Long, who both played in the NFL. Former U of M coach Jim Harbaugh will be inducted as a coach. And finally, the Michigan treasure is the late Earl Cureton, who starred for Detroit Finney and the Detroit Titans before his long NBA career. Cureton passed away earlier this year. A change in leadership is set to take place at a Michigan university. Tony Ortiz has this report.
Eastern Michigan University President James Smith confirms during a recent Board of Regents meeting that he'll step down from that role when his current contract with the school expires on June 30th of 2026. The 66-year-old Smith, who was hired back in July of 2016, came to Eastern Michigan University after serving as president of Northern State University in Aberdeen, South Dakota, a role that he had held since 2009. Now, during his time at EMU, Smith spearheaded the process of thoroughly renovating the available student housing on campus, which included the construction of a series of new housing units. He also led the largest fundraising campaign in Eastern Michigan history, called Give Rise, which raised a record $119 million for student scholarships, for academic programs, and for faculty support. There is no timetable in place for when the Board of Regents could hire a replacement for Smith. I'm Tony Ortiz for the Michigan News Network.
And Charlie, thousands of people are expected into downtown Detroit today for the annual Ford Fireworks Show. Officials say they have a plan and to get there early because popular viewing spots in Hart Plaza and on Belle Isle will close if they hit capacity. Parade Company CEO Tony Michaels says today marks 66 years of tradition. Tonight's forecast looks perfect for the fireworks with no rain expected.
You said tonight? Really?
That's according to this news story.
Well, I'm sure
Let me double check here.
24th. It seems, wow. I know they do it before Independence Day. It just seemed even earlier than usual to me, but I don't know that.
Yep. Pulled up a Google search. Detroit Free Press says the display will start around 10 o'clock tonight.
Wow. All right. I know some folks that go down. So good luck when you're heading down to Detroit. At least we know that the weather is going to hold okay. The weather forecast for our specific area now on WSGW. It's being brought to you by the Buck Insurance Agency. Ken Buck and his associates in Freeland. That's the Buck Insurance Agency with WNEM First Alert Meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much in the Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Barometric pressure. It's 2992, rising, northwest wind 662 at WSGW, your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region, your connection to the world. The only other extra weather message we have is from the National Weather Service suggesting that on the Lake Michigan shoreline, your usual places, Mason down to the southwest corner, Berrien County, beach hazard statements because of those higher winds, waves, and stronger currents in Lake Michigan and the shoreline areas of those counties that we mentioned. You're along on a morning team Monday broadcast on WSGW. Thank you for being with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan. Hey, tomorrow is the Michigan Wheat Program's Summer Field Day. So wheat growers, you need to get your registration in like now. And it's an event that's going to be held at the MSU Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road in Richville. The field day will start at 8:15, breakfast, research plots, variety trials. So get the information and get registered for tomorrow. You visit online, miwheat.org. That's miwheat.org. The Michigan Wheat Program's Summer Field Day. Tomorrow, the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road in Richville.
Configuring the Bluetooth. Deciding who controls the music. Remembering where you parked. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Buck Insurance Agency in Freeland if auto owners make sense for you.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
As you're with your morning team on WSW, you with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan, your morning team. We are presented by Paintbull on Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw. We encourage you to visit our morning team sponsor, Paintbull. And we thank you for considering Paintbull for any time that you might need some vehicle work. Could be making sure that your vehicle is rust-proofed, a graphene coating, the internal detailing, the body shop work, Paintbull, all that for you and more on Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw, online, paintbullrepair.com. That's paintbullrepair.com, your morning team sponsor. On a Monday at 7:43, we need to take a moment to do a song that peaked at number 2 Monday for you.
This ain't no disco. It ain't no country club either. This is LA. All I wanna do is have a little fun before I die. There's a man next to me out of nowhere. Apropos of nothing. He says his name is William. I'm sure he's Bill or Billy or Mac or Buddy. And he's played ugly to me. And I wonder if he's ever had a day of fun in his whole life.
Taking you back 30 years.
We are drinking beer at noon on Tuesday. The bar that faces a giant car wash.
1994, and
the good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch break.
this song was everywhere. It was Sheryl Crow. It was everywhere except it wasn't number 1 on the charts. A song that only peaked at number 2.
All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun.
In fact, 6 consecutive weeks at number 2. Couldn't get to the number 1 spot.
Just have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard.
Fun song for Sheryl Crow, 30 years ago. Song was all over the place in the summertime. It just
Great summer song.
and so big. She won a Grammy Award for Record of the Year. Won a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Song was even nominated for Song of the Year, but for 6 straight weeks, she couldn't crack the top spot.
Wow.
And she was kept off by one single song. You think with 6 weeks at number 2, it had to be like multiple songs.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, for Sheryl Crow in 1994, there was a group that was number 1 for an incredible 14 weeks. They kept a couple of songs peaking at number 2, as a matter of fact.
Was it Nirvana?
No, it wasn't Nirvana. It wasn't Nirvana. It was...
Boys to Men?
Boys to Men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 14 weeks in a row. Fine song. No disrespect to Boys to Men, but I think at some point, Sheryl Crow.
This is the song I know of the 2.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have given her at least 1 week at number 1. So Sheryl, tell you what, we'll give you 1 week, and then we'll come back and we'll be number 1 again for several more. You had 14 weeks, Boys to Men. You could have shared.
All she wants to do is have some fun. Just
give
her the number 1 spot.
There you go. All I want to do is have some fun. Let me be number 1.
Yeah.
Before the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard.
I remember the first time I heard that song, it was like it came out of left field. Like, whoa, that's an interesting, different sound.
Yeah, it had a little twangy country-ish sound to it, but it was huge, and it worked. Except it didn't make number 1. That's why we do the songs that peaked at number 2 on Mondays for you.
I can't recall ever having heard like the verses. Not much of a better word to say for that, but
you just recognize
I recognize the chorus,
the
but
chorus lines. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard the full song.
Sometimes it happens. Though you just have to get that in your mind over and over and over and over because it's catchy. It's 7:48 on WSGW. We just before the news at 7:30, having a little fun with the story about with the Olympics in Paris coming up.
Yeah,
how Team USA and some other countries too, by the way, plan to bring their own air conditioning units to Paris. Paris is trying to, as they say, be friendly environmentally. They're going to not do air conditioning units. They plan to do cooling using cooling tubes in the floor and things like that.
We're going to try and be we are going to try to be environmentally friendly. The Americans just say, Forget that.
Well, remember,
We're not.
It's us and several other countries. They want to make sure that the temperature is perfect in their rooms at the Olympic Village for their high-performance athletes. Okay, fine. So then I came across this story. For the rest of us, when it comes to what temperature it should be, what is the best temperature for your air conditioning? What should it be set? Now, this comes from the Department of Energy, and it actually is kind of in a story following up in the heat wave that hit the nation. It's still occurring in some cases, and that was the question from the Department of Energy and the Environmental Protection Agency's Energy Star program, suggesting the best temperature. Now, they do say you should always set the temperature to what is most comfortable for you and provides the best humidity control, especially if you have health condition. I mean, if you got a condition that it needs to be lower or higher, whatever, but when it comes to promoting energy efficiency, and the best temperature that your AC should be set would be, think about what you would set it.
I've got a number.
78. That's the recommendation, 78.
It's not too bad.
Which I will say is my number. I do not like air conditioning. I just rather open the windows. I'll deal with the heat. Not that I like the heat a lot. I'm not good in heat, especially if I'm out and about and doing things, but I hate being especially in the summertime, I hate closing up the windows. Although we did utilize our air conditioning the last several days just to take a little bite out of it. And frankly, when you got, some animals in the house, as much as I try and tell them, hey, just go down to the basement. It's cooler there. They just stand at the top of the stairs and just pant at me. So
Yeah,
78 is the recommended number.
Anything below 80 will turn off the AC and just open the windows. Get a fan or two going for some circulation. That's about the number I would use, though, if it's hotter than that. Like if it's, we had 85, 90-degree days last week. I think we set it around 77, 78.
And then
even in our house, like that's cold in our house.
And then you add the humidity and I get it. So I get that kind of stuff.
One of our listeners, Michelle, tunes in on the social media stream, says 75, but they want us to keep it too high.
Well,
I don't have that option. I don't have an AC, so I'm stuck with the fans and whatever's outside.
Well, according to a Consumer's Energy Report, I should say a Consumer Report, not a Consumer's Energy Report, just a Consumer's Report. This goes back to 2021. They did a survey and found that most people with central air conditioning set it at 72. 72?
Oh.
Jeez.
I'm putting on like a sweatshirt at 72.
I mean, now in the wintertime, 72 probably you're comfortable, I would think. But, well, again, just so you know, this is according to the Department of Energy and the Environmental Protection Agency's Energy Star program. 78 is the recommended AC. You can compare that to your own. It is.
I wonder what they're going to do for Olympic Village. Is it going to be 78?
That's what we got. What is the prime temperature for our high performance athletes? Yeah. That's the temperature I want. So I can be high performance too. Up to the hour, up to the minute news, business, your weather, your sports on WSGW. It's 7:52.
From Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz. Our top story this hour, the Michigan Supreme Court said it will hear arguments in cases that could lead to a ban on automatic life prison sentences for people who were 19 or 20 years old when they were involved in a major crime such as a murder. The court took a significant step in 2022 when it said mandatory no parole sentences for 18-year-olds convicted of murder violated the Michigan Constitution's prohibition on cruel or unusual punishment. Now the court will consider whether to extend that principle to people who are 19 or 20. In an order Friday, the Michigan Supreme Court said it would hear arguments in the months ahead in cases from Wayne and Oakland counties. No parole life sentences are still possible in Michigan for someone 18 or younger, but they are no longer automatic. A motorcycle chase ends in a fatality. Jim Lee Hockey has the story.
A 38-year-old Mackinac County man is dead after running from police on a motorcycle Friday morning. The Mackinac County Sheriff's Office said just after 9 a.m., a deputy observed an orange Harley-Davidson motorcycle speeding. Deputies said the driver, who had outstanding warrants, accelerated to speeds more than 100 miles per hour on 123 before failing to negotiate a curve. He died a short time later at the hospital. For Michigan News Source, I'm Jim Lee Hockey.
A 34-year-old Detroit man is facing several charges after his 6-year-old son found an unsecured gun and shot himself in the hand. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy has charged Morris Stephen Brown with safe storage violations and felony in possession of a firearm. Prosecutor said the child found the unsecured handgun in the home and shot himself. First responders transported the child to an area hospital for treatment. Brown was arraigned on June 20th. He received a $50,000 personal bond. For Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz.
At 8 o'clock on CBS News, King Charles' sister, Princess Anne, is in the hospital with a concussion and minor injuries following an incident at her country home. A weekend of deadly rip currents and flooding leaves some Midwest towns almost completely submerged.
Stories to come at 8 o'clock on WSGW as we continue going up to the hour, and you're up to the minute news, business, and weather and sports going on right now. The business report brought to you by the Anderson Group at R.W. Baird in Saginaw. The Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 11:30 reports, or Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11:55. The latest stock market information and ticker tip information, too, for your finances from Steve and David and Teresa from R.W. Baird in Saginaw. Call 989-790-5724. Online, you're visiting saginaw.bairdwealth.com, spelling Baird, B-A-I-R-D, saginaw.bairdwealth.com. It's 7:55.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Apple could be in violation of antitrust rules in Europe. The European Commission says it reached a preliminary view that the rules Apple uses to manage its App Store could violate its competition law. Apple was fined just months ago for a similar violation. European regulators also say they have opened a new investigation into how Apple deals with third-party developers. UPS is selling freight broker service Coyote Logistics to RXO for $1 billion. UPS purchased the business in 2015 for $1.8 billion. UPS says it wants to focus on its core business. Oil prices are narrowly higher this morning. Traders are anticipating that summer demand will hold up. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
WSGW, up to the hour, and you're up to the minute weather from WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro. It's 7:56.
A very pleasant Monday is ahead with highs up to 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies and lower humidity today as well. We'll have a northwest wind shifting to the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, low 63. We're first alerting you to scattered showers and thunderstorms very late tonight, starting up at around 5 to 6. That does carry over into Tuesday morning. It does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat. Then we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70 tomorrow. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Temperature 62 at WSGW as we continue up to the hour with your up to the minute sports next.
Are you considering retirement? Are you turning 65 years old soon? You should be working with a local independent agency, not the insurance company, to get you the Medicare plan that fits your needs. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices in Saginaw, is an independent agency that will work for you. They will shop your needs with major insurance carriers and get excellent coverage with competitive premium options. MCare Choices, formerly Medicare Choices, 989-899-7820. That's 989-899-7820.
It is up to the hour, and you're up to the minute sports on WSGW. Tigers beating up on the Chicago White Sox yesterday, 11-2. Tigers crushing 4 home runs, including Colt Keith, who actually had 4 hits on the day. He had a 2-run homer. Bradley Green, a 3-run homer. Akil Baddoo, a 2-run homer. Zach McKinstry, a solo home run. Tigers now preparing to welcome the Philadelphia Phillies to town. That starts tonight, 6:15 broadcast on 790 AM WSGW with Casey Mize on the mound. Great Lakes Loons splitting a doubleheader with the Quad Cities River Bandits yesterday, losing the first game 7-1, but winning the second game 1-0, walking it off in the bottom of the 8th. Remember, the minor leagues play 7 innings for doubleheaders, so in the bottom of the 8th, the game is scoreless until the Loons load the bases, and with 2 out, the batter strikes out, but the ball gets by the catcher, allowing the batter to advance to first and the runner from third to score. A walk-off pass ball. Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final tonight. Edmonton at the Florida Panthers. Remember, this is a series that Florida had led 3-0. Edmonton has come back with 3 straight victories. So it's Game 7 tonight. Winner take all for the National Hockey League and the Stanley Cup. Up to the hour. Up to the minute with sports on WSGW. It's 7:59.
Finding the right home for your family is a special feeling. Finding the right home loan to make it happen should feel just as good. At Members First Credit Union, we know home loans inside out, so we're here to help you every step of the way. From home buying education to an affordable mortgage, because there's nothing we love more than seeing people in the door. Learn more at mfcu.net/mortgage. Home lending from Members First Credit Union, for the joy of it. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Get news time on WSGW at 8 o'clock.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
Midwest flooding.
The devastation is severe and it's widespread.
Deaths off the Florida Panhandle.
The current was ripping very swiftly.
Terror strike in Russia.
The scale of this attack is a humiliation for the government.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. At least 1 death is blamed on the floods that have hit South Dakota. High water has also forced evacuations in parts of Iowa. And CBS's Jennifer Mayerly says there's also flooding in Minnesota.
Here in Waterville, parts of the city are underwater.
They said it's only going to get worse, and so we're just bracing, and hopefully it's not going to get any worse than this.
A state of emergency remains where up to 18 inches of rain fell here. The National Guard is expected to arrive today and help with the rising flood waters.
It's ridiculous. I don't even know if there's a word for it.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Parts of Iowa are underwater too. The state's governor issued a disaster declaration in 21 counties.
In almost every community impacted, the rivers crested several feet above record levels from the floods of 1993.
In South Dakota, at least 1 person was killed after heavy rains and flooding inundated the eastern part of the state. Severe weather spawned 6 tornadoes that struck southern Wisconsin over the weekend.
The worst of the early summer heat will be in the Midwest and South today. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
Sweet relief from the heat for much of the Northeast. In fact, New York City will top out around 80, but we do actually have heat advisories stretching from South Dakota all the way to the panhandle of Florida.
Now to danger in the water. At least 6 people have died after they were caught in Florida rip currents. In North Carolina, lifeguards have rescued more than 150 people over the past 5 days, and 2 teenagers are presumed dead after they were reported missing at a New York City beach. Here's CBS's Christiane Benavides.
Beach safety officials say a young man drowned Sunday after he was dragged into a dangerous rip current off the coast of Panama City Beach, Florida.
You can have a rip current develop anywhere at any time.
Sunday's incident is one of several deaths blamed on rip currents in recent days, including 3 Alabama men who were just hours into their vacation in the Florida Panhandle. 1 day earlier, Pennsylvania parents Brian Warder and Erica Wishart drowned off Hutchinson Island while vacationing with their 6 children.
The ocean, you think, is just a big swimming pool, especially people coming down from up north that don't understand currents.
Beach safety director for Panama City Beach, Daryl Paul, says if you're caught in a rip current, stay calm.
If you're a good swimmer, swim parallel to shore. But if you're not a very good, confident swimmer, just float and wait for help.
Now to Russia, where at least 19 people were killed in attacks in the southern region of Dagestan. Churches and synagogues targeted. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
Gunmen opening fire at a police traffic post, turning the streets of the capital Makhachkala into a bloodbath, bursting into a Russian Orthodox church, shooting parishioners and a priest. In coordinated, simultaneous attacks, armed assailants also opened fire on a synagogue 75 miles south in the coastal city of Derbent, then setting the building on fire. Investigation officials say at least 15 officers were killed, and the priest of the Orthodox church, who officials described as brutally murdered. No one has claimed responsibility, but government officials are describing it as a terrorist attack.
Correspondent Cammie McCormick tells us Secretary of State Blinken is set to meet today with Israel's defense minister.
This State Department meeting comes after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu said he would only be willing to agree to a partial ceasefire that would not end the war. He said Israel is committed to continuing the war after a pause, and he's not willing to give up on that. His remarks could further strain relations with the Biden administration, which launched a major effort to win support for the deal.
The first presidential debate is Thursday night. CBS's Robert Costa.
What we're seeing from President Biden is a lot of time, a methodical approach, going through different policy positions with his advisors at Camp David in recent days. Top sources tell me President Biden wants to frame Trump at this debate as a threat to democracy, a threat to abortion rights. Former President Trump, it's much more of an extemporaneous process, making phone calls to friends and advisors, even some senators, getting some tidbits on policy, but mostly preparing to shrug off Biden's attacks and frame the Biden administration as a disaster.
In a new CBS News poll, Biden has a 23-point edge over Trump among likely voters under age 30. 5 minutes after the hour.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
The IRS deadline has come and gone. So do you owe money to the IRS? If so, you need an ally. Whether you owe the IRS $6,000 or $600,000, whether your tax problems are personal or business, the professionals at Allies Tax Relief are ready to step in and negotiate your fresh start with the IRS. Here's a happy customer of Allies Tax Relief.
Before calling Allies Tax Relief, I feared the IRS would take all of my assets. I owed them over $562,000. Thankfully, I was referred to Allies and called them for help. They ultimately saved my life from uncertainty. Allies negotiated my giant tax debt to an unbelievable $1,500. They are professionals and they fight the fight for their clients.
Allies Tax Relief will protect your assets from being seized and your paycheck from being garnished. Call right now for your free consultation. 800-296-0772. That's 800-296-0772. Or visit AlliesTaxRelief.com.
Federal prosecutors are recommending to senior Justice Department officials that criminal charges should be brought against Boeing. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
The charges are based on allegations that Boeing breached a 2021 agreement. That agreement protected Boeing from a charge related to conspiracy to defraud the FAA based on 2 fatal crashes.
These were the 2 737 MAX crashes overseas. The Justice Department has until early next month to decide whether to prosecute Boeing. Authorities in Hawaii say a 49-year-old professional lifeguard died after he was attacked by a shark while surfing off the island of Oahu.
It was one of our own city and county Honolulu lifeguards. Tamayo Perry was a professional surfer known worldwide.
Kurt Lager is the acting head of the Ocean Safety Lifeguard Group. Shark warnings in the area were posted after the attack. The death toll now tops 20 in a fire at a lithium battery factory outside Seoul, South Korea. Others are reported missing or injured. Explosions preceded the fire. In Pittsburgh, they held a groundbreaking yesterday for a new Tree of Life campus that will include a synagogue and a memorial to the 11 people who were killed there by a gunman in 2018. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro.
We join today to recommit ourselves to ensuring that their memory and the memory of that day will never be forgotten.
6 climate protesters interrupted play on the 18th hole of the final round yesterday of a PGA event in Cromwell, Connecticut. It happened just as Scotty Scheffler was lining up a putt.
When something like that happens, you don't really know what's happening, so it can kind of rattle you a little bit just because there's people running around the green.
Smoke and powder from the protesters stained the green. Police took them away. Scheffler won the tournament. Time on the roundup, 8 past the hour.
And speaking of sports, of course, we have sports to do for you coming up at 8:20. At 8:25, I didn't even know that he was still touring with his band. He's been so much in focus as an actor for all these years, but apparently he still is out touring with his band. And he says he's been at it for so long that the band, well, the touring has changed in some big ways. And we'll tell you what we're talking about coming up at 8:25. Tell you this actor who still is rapping. You're with Charlie and Mike and Jonathan for your morning team. Weather forecast today is for a sunny high of 80. Right now we have a sunny morning of 64. We'll get to the forecast. More news we get to right now. That means in the WSW newsroom. And Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. A tornado was confirmed to have touched down in Gladwin County over the weekend. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado with peak wind speeds of up to 90 miles an hour and a maximum width of 200 yards touched down Saturday around 4:05, about 9 miles northeast of the city of Gladwin. The tornado traveled on the ground for around 10 miles, ending at 4:27 p.m. Trees were damaged along the tornado's path, though there's currently no word on any structures damaged. There were no injuries reported. A crash in Saginaw County's Spalding Township last Friday killed a Mount Morris Township man. Police say the 26-year-old's Buick sedan was found submerged upside down in a ditch off Curtis Road near Bishop Road. A passerby and saw the vehicle and notified police around 6 a.m. The man was pronounced dead at the scene, according to police, though a dog in the vehicle managed to survive. Details how the crash occurred are unavailable at this time. An Owasso man was arrested last week for shooting a gun inside his home. Police responded to the 800 block of Lion Street in Owasso for a report of shots fired. They determined 21-year-old Mac Davis shot the gun from inside his bedroom. The search warrant revealed an illegally shortened .22 caliber rifle and other firearms. Davis was charged on Thursday in federal court with possession of a short-barreled rifle. His next court date is on July 8th. The Genesee County Sheriff's Department is allowing in-person visits for family members in the county jail. Operation Restoration will allow families with children 12 and under to visit their mothers or fathers who may be in jail starting from July 6th from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then again from 11 to noon for inmates registered with Motherly Intercession. Motherly Intercession is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to empower children to break the cycle of intergenerational incarceration. According to Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson, it's the first time in 11 years inmates will be able to have in-person visits with family members, and the jail, according to Swanson, will be the only one in Michigan with in-person visits, as many have switched to virtual visits. From June through September, Michigan State University Extension and MSU Ag Bio Research will host a series of field days on campus and at research and extension centers across the state. Locally, the Michigan Wheat Program Summer Field Day will be held at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center at 3775 South Reese Road in Frankenmuth tomorrow from 8:15 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pre-registration is encouraged by visiting canr.msu.edu/events for an accurate head count for food. Other topics of this year's field days include management of dairy, dry beans, Christmas trees, potatoes, turf grass, and others. All events are open to the public. Some are free, while others have registration fees. Please check details of individual events for more information at canr.msu.edu. WSGW News Time, 8:12.
Looking for savings while filling up at the pump? Look no further than Fuel Rewards at one of our 26 local Forward Shell convenience stores. Get 15 cents off per gallon when you buy any two 16-ounce Shine Waters for $4. Or get 15 cents off per gallon when you buy two 1-liter Propel or Gatorade water for only $5. Fuel Rewards at your local Forward Shell convenience stores, a family-owned Michigan tradition since 1925.
Save big money with help from Menards. Stay cool this summer with portable air conditioners from Pelonis. Featuring multiple comfort settings and built-in thermostat. They're easy to install, come with a remote, and are available in several models suited to your specific cooling needs. Take control of your comfort with Pelonis products at Menards. And check out our flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
WSGW News Time, 8:13. A UP family whose house caught on fire Friday is being helped by the Marquette County Pigs and Heat Fund, and a GoFundMe has been set up to help the family. Smoke was reportedly coming from the roof and eaves of the home in Negaunee. One firefighter was treated for heat exposure and released. Hundreds of mayors from across the country meeting in Kansas City over the weekend to discuss a wide range of issues from infrastructure investment and public safety to technology and the economy. Troy Mayor Ethan Baker in attendance at the 92nd Annual U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting. He says one of the topics regarding technology is artificial intelligence, and he's learning more about safe and impactful ways to use AI in government.
Compile all of your city reports, all of your data from previous council meetings and all those things and put them in a safe place, and then use AI to create reports based on that information only, right? So it's only using the things that are Troy specific that you know are safe and trusted because you originally created those or staff members before you did.
Baker says using those kinds of AI tools could be a time saver, allowing staff to interact more with residents. 2 fatal motorcycle crashes were reported in Mackinac County. The sheriff department says Thursday night a Chippewa County couple hit a deer on M134 and were thrown from the bike. The driver has non-life-threatening injuries, while the female passenger was pronounced dead at the scene. On Friday morning, a deputy saw a Harley-Davidson approaching M123 at a high rate of speed. The officer attempted a traffic stop, but the biker accelerated to more than 100 miles an hour through the village of Moran. The biker failed to make a curve and was thrown from the bike. He died of his injuries at the hospital. He was a 38-year-old Mackinac County man wanted on outstanding warrants. Charlie, you may want to start working out if you're getting stressed out about your job. Here's Jackie Page.
A new U of M study by the School of Kinesiology reveals that even moderate exercise can reduce worker burnout. The study involved more than 500 participants that were divided into 3 separate categories of exercise: low, moderate, and high. It revealed that those who did even only moderate amounts of exercise suffered less worker burnout and had a better outlook regarding their jobs. Study authors say this reveals that employers could suffer less worker dissatisfaction and better productivity by offering more workout opportunities for their employees. I'm Jackie Page for the Michigan News Network.
Interesting. Here we were looking for more ways to take a nap or two during the day. Not,
right.
not work out. That would increase the productivity. It's a
siesta.
Yes. It's 8:16. We could learn something from other countries. 8:16 at WSGW is your weather. The forecast that's being brought to you by Sanitary Mattress, your factory, your showroom at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw. You spend a third of your life in bed. It better be a good quality third. And if you have a mattress from Sanitary Mattress, it will be. You can trust the quality of this business since 1935 to manufacture. Yes, make a mattress for you right here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Big box stores, might sell mattresses, but how about the local manufacturer serving you locally with that quality mattress since 1935? Online, it's sanitarymattress.com, 989-753-1757, Sanitary Mattress. Here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Montrow.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much into Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
That rising barometer of 2995, that wind out of the north at 5. 64 at WSGW, your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region, your connection to the world. Got the sports next.
Hi, this is Art Lewis. McDonald Ford in Freeland is my dealer of choice. They should be yours, too. Stop in and visit them at 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. McDonald Ford.
Budget, think Staples. Because now at Staples, you can save up to $50 on your print purchase. From posters and flyers to signs and menus, Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. And with Staples Print Perfect Guarantee, it's done right or it's printed again free. Plus, same-day service is available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. Get it printed right at Staples. And now get up to $50 off your print purchase. And 76, visit staples.com/print for details.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
In an era of escalating social unrest, rising crime rates, safeguarding your family has never been more critical. Now introducing the Burner, the less lethal pistol launcher. It's a non-lethal defense option. Now it's developed by common sense gun owners who value the power of choice. This device enables you to de-escalate dangerous situations effectively without the finality of lethal force. Burner offers a safer, sensible alternative that can save lives on both ends and protecting the user, delivering formidable stopping power to deter any aggressor. The Burner is ideal for those wary of traditional firearms. It provides an effective self-defense tool without deadly consequences. It's legal in all 50 states, no background check or permit required. It can be shipped directly to your door. It is an essential tool for responsible, non-lethal protection. Burner, byrna.com/Hannity. You also get 10% off any purchase. Stay safe with Burner, where smart defense meets innovation.
Sports on WSGW. It's 8:20. Tigers having fun against the White Sox at Comerica Park yesterday. After struggling for about a week to score runs, the Tigers got a bunch. An 11-2 win over the White Sox. And it started in the first inning. Matt Vierling led off with a triple. And Colt Keith came to the plate.
1-0, swinging a fly ball, left center field, going back, Benintendi at the fence, looking up, and it's gone, a home run! Colt Keith goes oppo. Fourth home run in the major leagues, and the Tigers, 2 batters in, have a 2-0 lead.
In fact, by the end of the first inning, it was a 5-0 lead, and it kept going in the second inning.
Fly ball, left field, fairly deep, right in the breeze. Benintendi back at the fence, gone! Riley Green, high in the air to left, hits number 15. It's a 3-run shot. Tigers having some fun now. 9-0 lead in the second.
Again, an 11-2 final score with a 16-hit attack. Colt Keith led the attack, by the way. We heard that home run. He had 4 hits on the day, his third 4-hit game since May 17th. Riley Green, that 3-run homer. Zach McKinstry had a home run. Akil Baddoo, a 2-run homer. Winston Perez, 3 hits. Reese Olson, a nice 6 1/3 innings of work of 2 runs, 4 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts for the win. Tigers and Phillies now start a series tonight from Comerica Park. Phillies are a tough team, one of the best. 6:15 broadcast on 790 AM WSGW. Casey Mize on the mound. How about the Loons and Quad Cities River Bandits at Dow Diamond yesterday? A doubleheader split. Quad Cities wins the first game 7-1. The only Loons run, a home run from Kyle Nevin. But in the nightcap, a walk-off in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now, remember, in the minor leagues, they play 7-inning games, so the 8th inning was an extra inning. And so the bottom of the 8th starts with the extra inning runner on base. The Loons sacrifice the runner to third. Quad Cities decides to intentionally walk the next 2 batters to load the bases to set up the force play. After a strikeout, now you got 2 outs. Kyle Nevin's at the plate. Ends up fouling off 5 straight pitches before he strikes out. But on the strikeout, the ball gets by the catcher, allowing him to advance to first. The winning run from third scores, a walk-off pass ball. Jackson Ferris with 6 scoreless innings. Oscar Rayo with 2 scoreless innings for the win. Loons off today. Will play at Lake County against the Captains in a series starting tomorrow. The most exciting 2 words in sports, Game 7. Tonight, the Stanley Cup final will be final. Edmonton at Florida. This is a series where the Panthers won the first 3 games. Edmonton has fought back to win the next 3. Oilers trying to become the 5th team ever in the National Hockey League to come back after trailing a 3 games to none best-of-7 series. The only other team to do it in a final was the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs over our Detroit Red Wings. Golf, the PGA Travelers Championship goes to Scotty Scheffler, beating Tom Kim on the first playoff hole. Well, there's a name from the past. The Women's PGA Championship, Amy Yang wins by 4. Champions Tour goes to Patrick Harrington. The Live Golf event in Nashville goes to Terrell Hatton. NASCAR is racing at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell through a 2-hour-plus rain delay and 14 caution flags. This race took more than 6 hours, and Christopher Bell wins at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Sports on WSGW, and we're at 8:24. Yeah, a rapper who's turned actor apparently is still rapping on tour. Who knew?
You have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
The WSGW Studios and WSGW Online are sponsored by Stormmaster Exteriors, your ultimate solution for windows, roofing, and exterior services.
And at 8:24 on WSGW once again, perhaps putting my career at risk with a musical segment I'm about to play. I hope I got it right.
Champagne and I'm living in black rain. Try to ban the AK, I got 10 of them stashed with a case of hand grenades.
Apparently I'm safe for.
I chose the right
lucky
version.
You, I did. Yes. Charlie, Mike, Jonathan, Art here on the morning team at 8:26. You recognize the rapper in that?
No.
That was and I didn't realize he was still touring. Ice-T.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who, of course,
He's got all those TV shows.
Well, yeah, for the past how many years you think of Ice-T playing the character,
He's
Finn.
been on Law and Order.
Yeah.
SVU forever.
But apparently, in fact, he's on with his original band, Body Count, back in the 1990s who had their
I remember that band.
Remember Bandy? Yeah, they had their share of controversies, but currently touring in Europe. Apparently, when SVU is on hiatus from filming, Ice-T focuses on his tour, and right now they're on hiatus until the middle of July, so he's in Europe touring until they start filming again. Now, Ice-T says that touring as an older person is a little different than when I was younger.
I can imagine.
He says now we have two tour buses. We have the family bus, and then we have the bus for the family, or for the all the single guys who are out doing their own thing. He says, in fact, he refers to it as the jail bus, which is all the roadies and the guys that are by themselves. Now, this is an Ice-T quote, mind you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what his quote is. He says, "My tour bus, for example, used to smell like weed, condoms, and alcohol. Now it smells like Ben Gay and potpourri."
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, but we're having a ball. He says, when you're young and you're out there, you know, the touring is a whole nother animal. Now that when you get older and you're married, you don't want to be away from your family. So we go back to the hotel room at the end of the show. It's all quiet. While the rest of the group guys who are single, they're out there doing their thing. His son actually is touring with him. He's known as Little Ice-T. So there you go. Things change, even for Ice-T, the actor who still is out rapping with Body Count.
Good for him.
Yeah, more power to him. I wonder if he's got to have a new name. Ice-T is like, he's older now. Arnold Palmer Ice-T. Decaffeinated Ice-T.
You get older, you become Sweet Tea.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
They missed a chance to name his son Small Ice-T.
Could have done so.
Yeah.
It is your morning team on WSGW. It's 8:29.
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal from RocketGrabPlus.com for Freeland Sports Zone sold out immediately. If you missed out, don't despair. We have another deal in store for you, and it's sure to get a bang for your buck. Get $100 in fireworks for just $50 at Charlie's Fireworks on Court Street in Saginaw. Charlie's guarantees the best prices in town. Your savings await at RocketGrabPlus.com.
Transmission terminated.
Hey, some Comedy Corner fun. You know, the season of summer officially started last week, and we have a Comedy Corner talking about summer, putting it in perspective. That's what we'll do for you coming up after the news on WSGW. One of the things we'll do. You're with Charlie and Mike, Jonathan, for an official Morning Team Monday presentation in the sunshine. And the sun that's going to drive that thermometer up to about 80 today. Right now it's 64. The news right now in the WSW newsroom, and Mike Percha.
Thank you, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Circumstances surrounding how a 3-year-old fell from a 9th-story window in Flint last Friday are still unknown as police continue their investigation. Emergency personnel were dispatched to the Rickard Manor apartment building at 902 East Court Street around 12:25 p.m. after receiving a report about the boy's fall. The child was rushed to Hurley Medical Center but was pronounced dead. The Flint Police Department and the Genesee County Sheriff's Department are handling the investigation. Several events over the weekend were canceled due to potential severe weather. On Saturday, the Bay City Music Festival canceled its lineup and indicated refunds would be issued to ticket holders, though performer Waylon Hannell held a free pop-up concert around 6 p.m. The Great Lakes Bay Pride Festival was also canceled, scheduled to take place on Saturday in Bay City's Winona Park. Organizers are looking to reschedule the event at some point later this summer. And Saturday activities at the Pinconning Cheesetown Festival were also canceled, though the challenge race went on as planned. The Michigan Department of Transportation is resuming concrete patching work today on M25 from Madison Avenue to Veterans Memorial Bridge in Bay City. The work will improve the safety and operations of the roadway and provide a smoother driving surface, extending the life of the road. One lane will remain open as crews work on each section of the roadway. Work is anticipated to be finished by this Thursday. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan State Police are reminding residents and families about free gun locks. Gun owners can pick up free cable-style gun locks at MDHHS county offices and some local health departments. Michigan law requires individuals to keep firearms locked and unloaded with a locking device or stored in a locked container if a known minor is present. Free gun locks are also available through Project Child Safe Police partners across the state. Residents can check with your local health department and visit the local MDHHS office to request a free gun lock while supplies last. MDHHS staff who make home visits are also able to access gun locks if one is requested. For more information, visit michigan.gov/MSP. WSGW News Times 8:32.
The fundraisers are done. The time has come to party. It's the 2024 St. Stan's Polish Festival. 4 fun-filled days of polka music along with homemade Polish and American food, games for all ages, raffles, 80 by 210 entertainment tent with a 40 by 80 dance floor, and the Skirbic Family Carnival and its amazing midway. Where? On John Solinsky Drive, Bay City. Visit us on Facebook for the band lineups and all the special events, including Kids Day on Saturday and Family Day on Sunday. The 2024 St. Stan's Polish Festival, June 27th through the 30th. Fresh air is a destination. A place to breathe in the lapping waves of Torch Lake and explore the tree-laden trails of northern Michigan. A place to connect with nature and each other, one-on-one, in the waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. When you're looking to escape the everyday, breathe in the magic of northern Michigan at Shanty Creek Resort, in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
WSGW News Time 8:34. Kalamazoo native will represent Team USA in the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. In his first U.S. Olympic trials, 23-year-old Heath Baldwin from MSU won the men's decathlon with 8,625 points on Saturday night in Oregon. Baldwin holds the MSU record in the decathlon and is the first Spartan to qualify for the Olympic decathlon since Paul Tarek in 2004. An Oakland County Sheriff's deputy was shot and killed on Detroit's east side. The sheriff's office confirmed the incident. Reports say the shooting happened on Park Grove. The deputy was reportedly working undercover on an underground car theft ring. The suspect was in a stolen vehicle and is said to have opened fire on police through blacked-out windows. There was no exchange of gunfire. The sheriff's office is expected to release more information today at a press conference at noon. An emergency is what the U.S. Surgeon General is calling a mental health crisis among youth with so much time spent on social media. Program Manager of Family Services with Easter Steel's Macomb Oakland Regional Centers, Jen Thayer, agrees and says there are signs to watch.
We want to look for those warning signs by paying attention to their eating habits, their sleeping habits, their moods. Have their normal activities or interactions changed drastically, right? So if this is a child that was outgoing and hung out with friends all the time, played sports, and now they're kind of isolating and they're not taking time to be with other people, that can be a red flag that there's something going on with their mental health.
Thayer says those teens may need professional help. She says you should have a conversation with your teen about social media. And we mentioned this earlier, Charlie, but we have a report also that longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is being memorialized on a USPS Forever stamp. Here's Kyle Kimball.
Current host Ken Jennings making the announcement on Friday's show, ending a week that saw a 23-year-old man from Michigan take down 15-time champion Adriana Harmeyer. Drew Basile of Birmingham, Michigan, now has his own streak going. The winner of 3 straight games will be back Monday as Jeopardy's current defending champ. This is not Basile's first television appearance either. He recently lasted 23 days on the CBS show Survivor. Kyle Kimball, the Michigan News Network.
All right.
Survivor and Jeopardy. You guys like a all-around jack of all trades.
I was going to say,
kind of thing.
What's he going to do next? Appear winning on the morning team show or something. Next time we have a contest.
Ice Road Truckers up in Alaska.
Oh my gosh. That would be a something. It's 8:36 on WSGW. It is a weather to do for you. The forecasting update. We've got WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much in the Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
It's a rising barometer 2995. It's a north wind at 564 degrees from WSGW, your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region, your connection to the world. A beach hazard statement for the west side of the state along the Lake Michigan shoreline. That's what we have going on today. Lake Michigan shoreline area from Mason down to Berrien County. So if you have plans to be there, maybe you have family or friends on that side of the state, you know what they're dealing with. No other cautionary notes, be it for the water or on land, have been put forth by the National Weather Service. So let's just enjoy the rest of this Monday, the sunshine that we've had all morning long, apparently going to have all day long, as you heard in the forecast. Thanks for joining on WSGW as we continue with your morning team of Charlie and Mike and Jonathan and you. Presented by Paintball, Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw. We remind you, visit Paintball. How about just maybe a small scratch or dent? You just don't have the resources to take care of it. Well, Paintball does. Could be something as simple as that. That Paintball can do that work for you and so much more. When you visit on Bay Road north of Shattuck and Saginaw, and when you visit online at paintbullrepair.com, your morning team sponsor.
This farm has been in my family for 50 years. To be able to sustain our land, we've had to look at new ways of doing things. By installing solar panels on our farm, we're able to generate electricity for our community and revenue for our family. I say seeing is believing. You can have solar and agriculture working together. I'm proud of what we're doing, and I'm glad we're able to keep this land in my family.
Fuel for Thought, presented by the American Clean Power Association.
Incoming transmission from RocketGrabPlus.com.
As a savvy business owner, you understand the importance of advertising, even on a tight budget. And that's why we've created a no-cost advertising solution for small businesses with our Rocket Grab Plus Deals program. Our deal technicians are on standby to help you customize a deal that will attract new customers while generating advertising credit that you can use later. Visit RocketGrabPlus.com today to submit a deal and give your business a boost in visibility.
Transmission terminated.
Making our way through a Monday. We're going to make our way to the Comedy Corner coming up for you. The Comedy Corner, which, well, it's summer beginning last Thursday, officially. On the 20th, we have a little summer comedy routine just to remind you what summer's all about, at least from this comedian. 8:40 your time on WSGW as we continue on your morning team broadcast. Hey, I want to do a reminder that this is a big week in the Great Lakes and Bay region because a lot of attention will be paid in Midland. The Dow Championship is this week. And the lady professional golfers will be in for the team event at the Midland Country Club. And we are going to be front and center in a lot of ways, especially since we have some broadcasts that will be taking place at said event. In fact, those broadcasts will start taking place tomorrow with you, Art Lewis, on your radio shows.
Correct. Beginning right after the 9 o'clock news. Whoops, come back here, microphone. Microphone fell out of the holder.
That's not good.
Oh, there we go.
That's okay. That's live radio right before your very ears.
Not good for your ears, but right before. Yep, we'll be there tomorrow beginning at 9 o'clock. And during the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to chat with Jim Fitterling, the chairman and CEO of Dow. That'll get us started.
And then for the rest of the week, while you have your involvement
Matt Fallon will be holding down the fort from the Dow Wednesday through Friday. Wednesday, I'll be in the Pro-Am, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first tee starter.
Oh, you're actually going to play this. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 10:38 tee time.
You got that part down.
Yeah,
You've been
the names of the rest. That's
It's a lot of fun, though, and it's just a chance once again for the region to be highlighted in a
positive way.
Very positive and getting a lot of national attention.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when they take the television shots of that course, it's spectacular.
Yeah. And that kind of cool. It's like, wow, that's Midland right there. I mean, that's our area. That's fun. It's kind of like, well, when we just had the Memorial Cup, they did a lot of the aerial shots.
Absolutely.
Like, wow,
made it look really big time.
That is cool. So well, we're looking forward to it, and we wish you well. Did you say you're playing in the program? Oh, awesome.
I am.
Do you know who you're playing with yet? Or?
Yeah, playing with Bill Simonson. That name probably doesn't ring a bell, but Bill Simonson has the Huge Show.
Sports broadcaster.
Sports, yep.
Across the state of Michigan.
I think I'm playing with Nick Shelton, who's the pro at the Fortress, and one other who I don't know.
Okay. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, should be.
Well, enjoy that and enjoy your time on the
tee.
and
2 LPGA pros.
Yes.
Each team gets 2. And one plays 9, the other plays the other 9.
Okay.
So
make sure you pay attention and take lessons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I stand there on the first tee with my jaw dropped every time they hit the ball. It's just unreal.
And we will, I'm sure this is not going to happen, and we won't have any kind of weirdness that they had at the PGA Travelers over the weekend.
No.
But
well, you never know. But
we're expecting you to be the.
No,
you're gonna have to do the tackle.
Oh, you see, it happens on the greens, and I'm in the tee box, so I'm not going to be there.
Okay, well, even if it happens on the tee box, you got to
hustle your way over there.
You saw the flying tackle, the police officer.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So
from behind.
Yeah, it was awesome. I suggested that the Lions, who are starting trading camp soon. If anyone didn't see it on our morning team page, I put up the link to the video. You can check it out of that event, which got disrupted, but it was handled quickly and most appropriately to the cheering throng who.
I don't understand what these people think they gain. I think they do it just because they like doing it.
Well, they got a little attention. I mean,
negative attention, though. I mean, it doesn't help them.
Well, you know what they say sometimes
Attention's
about
attention.
Yeah, as long as you get the name right and you get the cause and everything like that, that's what it counts on. All right, we're at 8:45. So summer began last Thursday. Maybe you heard.
It's officially here.
It is here.
We cooled off for summer.
Indeed, yeah. Hot, humid days leading up. But there'll be more hot, humid, steamy days. That's what Michigan's all about. And to help put in perspective the season of summer, Jim Gaffigan, who has great comedy routines. He's been in the business for a number of years. He does a lot of those life stories, especially utilizing his family and experiences. He reminds us in his comedy corner that it's summer.
There's pressure to enjoy summer, right? I'm from the Midwest. It's almost a panic. Go out there, have fun. Winter's coming to kill us. Go get skin cancer now! Because there's an expectation of fun during summer. In winter, we discuss summer with such reverence. In January, you'd think we were talking about a family pet that passed away. Remember summer? I miss summer. I have photos of summer. That's when we were a happy family. Summer's presented as a vacation. It's like a 3-month vacation for nobody but children. And who doesn't deserve a few months off after the rigors of kindergarten? I have 5 young children. During summer, they lounge around like they've just returned from fighting ISIS. 3rd grade was a beast. Summer vacation does kind of set up an adulthood of disappointment. That first job, you're like, I have to go to work in July? What is this, Russia? There's a strange pressure to travel during summer. Are you going somewhere this summer? Why do we have to go somewhere? Well, we lived here during the horrible weather. Now that it's nice, we should go somewhere else. I prefer the cold to hot. I do. I know that's surprising looking at me, given I look like a snowman. But I prefer the cold, you know? Last summer, I was in Las Vegas. It was 114 degrees. 114 degrees. You can actually hear the sun at that point. It didn't feel safe. I was like, are we supposed to be here? 114. Like, you're never at a friend's house. You're warm in here. Yeah, I set the thermostat to 114. That's how I like it. I'm part lizard. Thermostats don't even go up that high. Meat thermometers do. I think God is just cooking people in Vegas. Oh, no one's smoking. I love smoked meat. It was 114 degrees, which was shocking, but not as shocking as how casually Las Vegas residents just went about their day in that heat. It was like, you're like, let's play Frisbee. Time to walk the dog. I was like, get inside! The earth is on fire! Get inside and beg for God's forgiveness. You've obviously angered him. That's why Vegas is called Sin City. It's the same temperature as hell. I have a friend from Vegas. I told him it was 114. He goes, that's nothing. I'm like, no, that's something. That's actually the temperature you boil water at. It's not that bad. Not if you're making ramen. Like, that's our summer. That's not summer. Summer is when you barbecue on a grill, not the sidewalk. It's so weird to be places where summer is the enemy. I was like, in the Southwest, they talk about summer like it's an ex-lover they never want to see again. We gotta get out of here before summer gets here. Last year, I couldn't leave my house when summer was here. You ever notice the further north you go, the more obsessed people are with summer? Like in February, I was in Bangor, Maine, and everyone was talking about summer. Everyone I met, they're like, you got to come back during summer. You got to come back. Which is a strange way to greet someone. Hi, how are you? Come back later. And it was everyone. Or you got to come back during summer. You got to come. Yeah, but I'm here now. Just make sure you come back. I didn't want to come the first time. But I love how northern cities sell summer. They're like, summer here is unbelievable. It's perfect. For 1/12 of the year, it's ideal. Otherwise, it's a tundra filled with alcoholism and depression. But for those 13 odd days, it's worth it.
Oh, perspective on summer from Jim Gaffigan. As it is officially summer 2024 since it arrived last Thursday. Comedy Corner on WSGW at 8:50, the time we have in order to go up to the hour, up to the minute of news and business and your weather on WSGW at 8:50.
From Michigan News Source, I'm Cheryl Fritz. Our top story this hour, Michigan State University's Board of Trustees is considering capping public comment at meetings to 45 minutes total, according to a proposed bylaw amendment in its June 28th meeting agenda. Citing similar practices at other public universities in the state, the amendment would limit public commenters to 15 people with 3 minutes of speaking time each, according to a proposal linked on the board's online agenda for its upcoming meeting. The proposed bylaw amendment is just one of the many ways the board is evaluating meetings to run university business more effectively and efficiently, said Emily Garant, a spokesperson with MSU. Trustee Dennis Deno said he does not support the amendment and says he's made his disapproval clear with other trustees. Hall of Fame running back Barry Sanders says he had a health scare during Father's Day weekend. Tim Knight has the story.
In a post on social media, the Detroit Lions legend said he suffered an issue related to my heart and thanked the healthcare professionals who took care of him. Sanders adding that he is taking this opportunity to focus on his well-being and health. Sanders, who retired in 1999, is the Lions' career leader in touchdowns and rushing yards. For Michigan News Source, I'm Tim Knight.
A Michigan prosecutor on Friday asked police for more information in an investigation of a Republican lawmaker who was arrested after officers responded to reports of possible gunshots in the state's capital city. John Duane, Ingham County prosecutor, said Lansing police submitted a request for charges against Representative Neil Frisk, but he asked officers to continue the investigation. Frisk was arrested about 2:45 a.m. Thursday in an area where he owns a condominium. He was released on Friday pending the investigation. For Michigan News Source.
On CBS News at 9 o'clock, marking 2 years since the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe versus Wade, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump hunker down for debate prep, and flooding leaves some Midwest towns almost completely submerged.
We are just minutes away as we continue going up to the hour. And you're up to the minute news, business, and weather on WSGW. The Fox Business Report now. It is 8:53.
Broadcast.
All right, let's make sure we have the Fox Business Report ready to go here on WSGW. Again, we'll have that for you. Then the weather forecast update on WSGW.
I'm Stuart Varley, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Group 1 Automotive, the Houston-based auto business with hundreds of dealers, says it's still impacted by the cyber attack at software provider CDK Global last week, though Group 1 says it immediately took measures to protect and isolate its systems from CDK's platform. Despite the outage, Group 1 says its U.S. dealers are continuing to do business using alternative processes. CDK told dealers it will take days, not weeks, to restore systems, though Group 1 says the timing remains unclear at this time. Eli Lilly shares are up 1%. The drug company is seeking approval from the FDA to expand its weight loss drug Zepbound to use it for sleep apnea. The Federal Reserve stress tests of banks are this week. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jen Poselda, invested in you.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
$8:55 on WSGW, up to the hour with an up-to-the-minute weather forecast of WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Your Monday is shaping up very nicely. Mostly sunny skies today, high of 80. Dew points that'll stay below 60 degrees, so not much humidity going through today, too. We'll have a northwesterly wind that shifts to the southwest with a speed of 5 to 10. Now, going into tonight, we have a low of 63. We see clouds and some rain returning very late in the night. This is around 5 to 6 o'clock, so at this point, pretty much in the Tuesday morning. But this does come with a marginal risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, with wind gusts being the primary threat as we start off the day on Tuesday, and then looking a bit drier into the afternoon. Tomorrow we have a high of 85, much more humid with dew points up to 70, but then dew points come down again by Wednesday and Thursday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
It's a rising barometer of 2995. It's a north wind at 5. It's a temp of 64 from WSGW, your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and your connection to the world.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free Just go to ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio.
8:57 with WSGW. As a morning team is winding down, Art Lewis, you are winding up.
Indeed. We'll have open phones the first hour. Second hour, we'll talk to State Representative Matthew Bierlein. And on Focus today, we're going to learn about the Katanji Hand Center. That's what's coming up. Dr. Katanji will be with us.
We've heard some announcements about that. If you've been listening to WSGW, you go more in-depth on Focus.
Indeed.
Terry Henney and his farm show will be along at 11:30. And we have Tigers baseball tonight, 6:15. Tigers and Phillies opening up that series at Comerica Park on WSGW 790 AM. Time to get out, and we do so in song, as we do on Mondays. Our song becomes a song that peaked at number 2 Monday song. This is where we find songs that are so big, so popular, that you think must have peaked at number 1, must have been a number 1 song, but it didn't. It only peaked at number 2, or maybe it's a song, it wasn't that popular. That song wasn't that good, but you're surprised to know that it did hit number 2. This is one that we're going to go back 30 years, 1994. The song was so big, it was big enough to peak at number 2. For 6 consecutive weeks, it could not get over the hump to number 1. Sheryl Crow. And I think you'll remember this song that was all over back from 1994, even a Grammy Award winner, too.
This ain't no disco. It ain't no country club either. This is LA. All I wanna do is have a little fun before I die. There's a man next to me out of nowhere. It's apropos of nothing. He says his name is William. I'm sure he's Bill, Billy, or Mac, or Buddy. And he's played ugly to me. And I wonder if he's ever had a day of fun in his whole life. We are drinking beer at noon on Tuesday. The bar that faces a giant car wash. The good people of the world are washing their cars on their lunch break, posing and scrubbing as best they can in skirts and suits. They drive their shiny Datsuns and Buicks back to the phone company, the record store too. But they're nothing like Billy and me, 'cause all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. Until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard.
Oh, Sheryl Crow, 1994, 6 weeks at number 2. Stopped from being number 1 by Boys to Men. I'll Make Love to You, a song that was on the number 1 spot for an incredible 14 weeks of its own. It is 9 o'clock.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM.